Yay! We are live.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, what?
We're live.
I know.
Oh, okay.
So I said, hey, we're live.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Whiskers Gone Wild, and it has been a wild evening already. First thing I want to do is thank Lisa for coming up here and reading chat for us this evening. I know it's been a long day for everybody, and we really appreciate it.
There we go. I'll change that.
What's that?
Under my name, I put I'm going to be dead by 2 a.m.
Oh, I can't see anything right now, so.
Hey, Stampy. And Randy's in here. Of course, Randy's in here for a moment.
Of course he is.
Yep, he is.
After the night I've had so far, I'm half tempted or 3/4 tempted to just go dock and fish off the back of my boat.
That bad, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, man.
I can't go where I wanted to go because I've got a fishing line wrapped in my prop.
Of your main motor?
Yep.
Wow.
Hey, Bobby.
What's up, Bobby?
What'd you go and do that for?
Well,
Blame the guy sitting on the dock.
Right, yeah, fishing off the dock right by the boat launch.
You mean where they're not supposed to?
Yep. And of course he had braid. So I was gonna go. What? I was gonna go 15 minutes down to a shallow pit that I'm familiar with, but that's a no-go.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. I am sorry, man.
Oh, it is what it is. And my glasses are so dirty I can't see out of them, and it's nighttime. If I take them off, my head starts to hurt a little bit.
Right.
Oh, it's a day.
Sounds like it.
But I feel bad not dragging because my wife had to bring my trolling motor batteries 30 minutes out of, she had to leave the house because I left the trolling motor batteries at home.
Oh, fun.
So she had to bring them all the way to me 30 minutes out of her way and then go all the way back home, hour round trip. And then if I don't use them, I feel like garbage.
Right.
Bobcat, he's running behind.
Yeah, he'll be out here in a minute. He was launching them when I was launching.
Bob, what'd you do to him? Why is he behind? I had so many plans for dragging tonight. I had a perfect spot I picked out. I had these cool FOA lights I was going to put in my planer boards. The tide's coming in.
You know what the hardest part about fishing is?
What's that?
Deciding where you're going to fish.
For tonight, that was the easy part for me.
Well, I'm sitting here like, do I want to fish the road bed? Do I want to fish the creek channel? Do I want to fish all this flooded timber? I'm leaning away from the flooded timber, but the road bed seems interesting. The creek channel seems interesting.
Bobcat says I made him wish with chicken and I wouldn't let him swim.
Well, that was mean.
Hey, Mark, Catfishing Crappie, and Bob and Doreen, welcome in.
Well, welcome in. At least Bobcat could have let him kick his other shoe off.
Mark says, holy smokes, it's still 90 here.
It feels like it is too. Water temperature on the James River tonight is 85.1.
Mm.
So we'll get started here at drag in just a minute, folks. We got to get everything kind of situated. I can't go far from the dock, so I'm just going to drag over here by the boat ramp. There's some nice fish in here.
But I have that. My go-to spots over there, right below, above the dam. Whenever I don't have a motor working, because you can troll right off the bat.
Yep.
Hey, 351.
Everybody should have one of those spots.
Yep. What's going on, 351? Thanks for coming in.
Ours was 83 here today at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it was hot, man. It was awful.
Mark says, pretty sure the spawn is in full effect here, so it's nice to stay cook in the house.
Yeah, I think the spawn here is actually over with. I think they're coming off the beds now.
Well, the water temp up here on the lake is 84, so I think they're done in the lake. But I don't know if they're done in the river yet. It was still in the high 70s. I think when I was up there, it might have been 80 when I was there. I can't remember. I didn't really look at it, to be honest with you.
Welcome in, Ruben Flores.
Hey, Ruben.
And Ed Jenkins. Welcome in.
Good evening, Ed. Oh, man. I feel like I'm going faster than I am because I'm, of course, going against the current. And the tide's coming in, so it's moving a little bit. I'm only going 0.4 right now. I'm gonna get my phone plugged in so it doesn't die.
That would be a good idea.
Well, I'm marking fish.
I had a fan on my phone today, Lisa, and mine didn't overheat.
I am impressed.
And I had my little umbrella.
I'm so happy for you, Dustin.
I know you are. I can tell it in your voice.
How long have I told you to get a fan to put on your phone?
Oh, you just told me, like, recently.
How recent?
About a month ago.
2 months ago.
2 months ago, whatever, you know. In there somewhere.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, same thing.
Yeah. I know it was 2 months ago because we had our grandson's birthday party. It was actually Randy's birthday.
Oh. See if I can stay away from the shore. That'd be ideal. So you know how there's pilots out there that fly by instruments?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tonight I'm navigating by instruments. I can't see I can see the water around me, but I can't see anything.
Sampy says, here, kitty, 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 kitty.
I don't think either one of us have lines in the water yet, bud.
Bobcat says, yeah, we had a fan on Brandon's all day and it never overheated.
I should have put a fan on mine, but
All right, I'm traveling 0.5 right now. I probably want to go about 0.7. But something keeps pushing me back towards the bank. You know, ever since I started wearing coveralls, I have new appreciation for the clothes that women wear. I'm constantly the shoulder strap is constantly falling down.
That's funny.
All right, let me see if I can get baits in the water.
Hey, how about you get some baits in the water?
That's a great idea. See, I knew I asked you for co-host or the hostess for a reason.
I could almost crappie fish with that new green light, Justin.
Nice.
A lot brighter than I expected. But shouldn't be any tickets, at least.
Yep.
Now.
Like I said, we want to avoid those on this show at all costs.
Yep. Agreed.
I may end up moving my light up to the back or to the back of the boat, pointing straight at the rod, so that I can sit behind it.
I got you.
My wife's giving me tips on how to wear straps.
You what?
So my wife's giving me tips on how to wear straps. She said if I crisscross them in the back, they won't fall down.
Gotcha.
Crisscross, yep.
All right. So let me get one of my baits in the water.
David Hughes, welcome in.
I love this one because this is the flasher rig from Fat Boy Rigs. Is that David Bass Boat Hughes?
He said, yep.
Nice. Welcome in, David. Appreciate you coming in, bud. Hope you've had a fantastic week. All right, so this rod right here is my FOA effing rod, 7'6", with FOA 40-pound power line, a 120-pound leader line from FOA, a FOA 120-pound three-way swivel, a Fat Boy rig, which you can get from FOA or fatboyrigs.com. I don't have my FOA dragon weights on here, but I do have a couple in my bag. I just wanted to grab one real quick. And then, of course, as always, the Ancient Mariner. This is my 6,000 for my reel.
What operating system is Dustin using tonight?
Oh, man. I felt like I used Android for the last couple of hours. Everything was all messed up. All right, this one's going straight back.
I'm guessing that's your buddy, Sean.
Who is it?
I'm guessing it's Sean.
What's the name?
Team Snaggin Whiskers.
Oh, yep, that's him. He uses the main channel. I use my Team Snaggin Whiskers Dustin channel.
That's what I said. I thought it was Sean.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm going about 0.5. Yep, I think I'm going to move my light real quick to see if I can.
Me favor before you go to bed.
Anything.
Hi, Randy.
I have a headache.
Hello.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I heard you. I don't know if you wanted me to hear you, but I heard you.
No, I just turned the camera off because he's getting ready to go to bed. He possibly found a motor for the boat.
I found a what?
He was.
He possibly found a motor for our boat.
Oh, nice.
And he's waiting on the guy to get back in contact with him. And if he does, he's taking a trip to South Carolina to get it.
Nice.
Uh-oh. South Carolina.
Thank you.
Well, I couldn't. The old man didn't call me back tonight, so I ain't going to South Carolina.
Well, he didn't.
I was sure hoping that was tomorrow's trip.
No,
I'm marking a lot of fish. Hopefully you can all still see me. No, not really.
I can see the rods.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, because we don't need to see you, because when you flipped that light on a while ago, that was very disturbing. Hey 205. Hey Nate. It's still. I still got a camera.
Nate 205, what's going on? Appreciate you coming in. So what I was going to show you was, if y'all watched SNL on Thursday night, you done seen these. But I'm going to show you again, for those of you that didn't watch and hadn't seen them yet. If you go to FOA customsandgear.com, let me do this. You can get yourself one of these. It's a lightsaber, mini lightsaber for the planer board.
Are the board lights?
For the planer board.
Nice.
And I'm turning the other way. Good gracious. So it's got a battery inside. So you just pull that back. It's got a little pointy into it. You pull that battery out, flip it around, and now you got a red light. And so you screw that thing back on there.
Didn't those come in green too?
They do. So there you go. It's a red mini lightsaber.
No, okay.
Okay.
Good night, guys. Y'all have some good luck. Catch some fish. Catch a big one.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. Appreciate it.
Don't
Sleep
turn
well.
that light off. I saw that finger. 205 says just chilling, y'all. Good luck out there.
Thanks, buddy.
Jeff Bill says a big tree branch fell on my boat from my neighbor's yard. I have to look at it tomorrow and see if there's any damages.
A big tree branch from his neighbor's yard fell on his boat, he said?
Yep.
Oh, man.
There's my beautiful V. She says,
Hey,
evening
V.
all. Just came to give a quick support thumbs up. Been up since 3:30, so I'm about to collapse. Catch some beasts, guys.
Thank you, V. All right, so there's the light in my planer board. I stick it right in the middle.
Nice.
So this will go on the port side of my boat. So the one with a mosquito, with the red light on the front of the boat is on the port side. So I'm going to put that on the same side of the boat. Ow.
That's for you, V.
Dang it. I'm taking the quick clips off of my swim, because these dragon weights have clips on them already. I like to, if I'm going to lose anything, I might as well
You're breaking up, Dustin.
All right, I probably got a bad signal in this area.
Oh, that came through clear.
Oh, good. So if anybody knows anything about me and the trials and tribulations I've had to go through over the last couple of years, last year there was a tournament and I ended up running out of gas.
We thought that was going to be us today.
And I had to paddle all the way back to the dock. Well, that's the dock I'm at tonight. The one I paddled back to.
Yeah, hopefully lessons learned.
Yeah, to check my gas can every once in a while.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to do that.
Oh, I hear a doink. There's the doink.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Brandon?
What's up,
Thanks
man?
for coming in, buddy.
Oh, it's
no
that
problem.
Fishizzle guy.
That's me. I'm dry today.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Let's
Hopefully
keep
it
it
stays that way because you're by yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Probably need to put a life jacket on too. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm so late getting set up. Me and Yak had a bunch of traffic at the boat ramp.
Yeah, it was nuts, man.
We heard.
All I have is chicken for bait tonight, left over from that tournament, so I'll dig some of that out.
Well,
I had some chicken left over. I had some chicken left over too, but the great thing about the James River, day or night, the spot I'm in now, I can always catch bait.
Yeah,
for the most
that's
part.
awesome. I put some reflective tape on the FOA boards up on the foam, which like works pretty nice at night when the board's out there. The Compex light will light it up.
Nice.
Can you see that? Can you see that, Lisa?
I can, but yeah, I can see it now.
That's the FOA lightsaber on top of that, Brandon.
That's right. I like it. It's fancy. This is my favorite board.
Yeah. I haven't had any issues with FOA boards. So, Brandon, where are you at tonight?
I went to the lake tonight. I'm kind of on the lower part of Lake Chickamauga, and a couple of these bluff walls I'm going to try to drag by. It's kind of the area Bob and I did well in for the Midnight Madness. And I haven't really been back out here, but figured I'd give it a shot.
Gotcha. Why'd you choose that area?
Well, the Chester Frost boat ramp is like 5 minutes from my house, and a part of it convenience, and part of it we just did well on that trip. So just see if it's kind of one of my go-to areas. It's got some deeper water. I was thinking if it's hot as crap today, they might be a little deeper, but I don't know. Of course, that 50-pounder I caught super shallow earlier, so may totally change my plan in a few hours.
Lampy says, hi, Fishizzle.
Yep.
Well,
Hello,
welcome in, Greg
everybody.
Burgess. Greg Burgess says hello, Dustin, Burrito Lisa, Fishizzle. Yeah, good to see
What's up,
you
Greg?
people.
Fierce tonight. I cannot tell at all how fast I'm going. I mean, I've got my speedometer on my console, but on my fish finder, but it's hard to gauge. It said I was going 0.1, and so I believe it now. Because my planer board went way behind me instead of out to the side.
Hey, Crappy Day, Darren. Welcome in.
What's up, Darren? So as we talked about last week, for those of you that are in here that were here last week, one of the things we wanted to do for this show is, the educational piece. So that's why we're picking. Last week's banter is, we're going to talk about the bugs that are out here. We're going to talk about that. Talk about the style of fishing.
Dustin, you breaking up.
And again, this is not us as professionals, but just, dang it. How about now?
You're good.
Sounds good.
Okay. So this is not us as professionals. We're just out here doing what we do, and we want to explain to you how we do it. So if you ever have any thoughts or questions about how we did things, and maybe you're thinking about dragging baits for the first time, maybe one of us that are out here tonight can give you a tip or a point that you didn't know about, and it'll help you be more successful when you're out on the water. So I've only got two lines out right now, just because I can't see anything in front of me. And it's been a heck of a night already. So I don't want to chance fate. But I would also feel bad because my wife ended up having to drive from the house, which is 30 minutes away from the boat ramp, to bring me my trolling batteries because I forgot them at home because I'm so tired. So
Yeah, I took a long nap.
Yeah, I should have, but I didn't.
I took it. Yeah. It was hard to get back up and be like, yes, I'm going fishing again. Yeah.
There we go. Now we're cooking with bacon. So I got one planer board out. It's got the lightsaber on it out to the port side of my boat. I've got one line directly behind the boat. Both have shad on them. One's got a shad head, one's got the shad body. I'm using smaller sections. I got the gut pocket and everything on mine. My original plan was to go to a shallow pit that is off the main channel where there's not a lot of boat traffic, and there's been known to be big fish in there feeding at nighttime. But when I got to the ramp, like I said, I forgot my trolling motor batteries. So Hold on, let me put my clickers on so that I know if I get a bite while I'm talking.
Yeah, it can be hard to navigate out here at night with the Compex light shining in your face. Make sure you're on a good heading.
All right. Well, yeah, I moved my Compex light to the back of the boat that is shining directly on the rods, so that I'm looking into the dark in front of me. But what I was saying was, I forgot my trolling motor batteries. My wife was kind enough to drive 30 minutes to bring them to me, so I would feel horrible if I didn't use them. So I'm trolling one planer board and then one line right behind me. The pit I was gonna troll is about a 5 to 8 minute boat ride downriver, out towards the main channel. But without my main motor, I didn't want to make that trip. I was after I loaded the batteries on my boat, there was a young man fishing at the dock right there by the boat ramp, and as I was leaving, I saw his line and ended up running over his line and getting his braid wrapped in my main prop. So I hooked my trolling motor batteries up and have been using that ever since.
And I always stab a hole in the top of his planer boards. Just stab a glow stick in there also so you can really see it.
Yeah, that's why he came out with the lightsabers, the mini lightsabers. So because the glow sticks are good, but they don't last all that long.
Yeah.
These lightsabers actually you can buy, which I did. You can buy an extra pack of 8 of these batteries, and they're rechargeable. It comes with 2 chargers.
I haven't even seen those yet.
So, and they come in red and green. That's what I got on my planer board now. And I just used the end of it to stab it into the planer board so that, and then it'll seal around it, so it makes a pretty good connection. I like to troll around 0.6 to 0.7 against the current. But there's no rhyme or reason to that. I've just found that that's what I've been successful doing. You don't want to go any faster than like 0.8, 0.9. You definitely don't want to go 1. Then you're trolling for stripers. But Yak, where are you at tonight?
Same general area of the lake as Brandon.
Oh,
But I'm more around the islands outside of Chester Frost. Yeah. Wanted to give a different spot a shot. My last couple spots have been producing fish, but they've all been smaller fish. So I'm trying something a little different to see if I can get on a higher caliber of fish.
there you go. What what size of baits are you using?
So I'm using live bluegill on 2 of these, which are decent size. But then I'm using chicken left over from the tournament too. So I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, I like to throw at least one big bait out, but I'm a firm believer that they don't always want a big bait. So
When you hook a bluegill when you're dragging baits, where do you hook it at?
So there's 2 general thought processes. One's to do it by the head because then it's facing the same direction you're dragging. I like to hook mine a little further back towards the tail at the back of the middle of the back, basically. That way it can still swim around when we're going this slow, especially when I'm on the lake where there's no current. It'll keep wanting to fight away, and I have a rattle on mine, so it's going to hopefully attract attention or something.
How fast do you usually troll?
So based on water temperature is what I usually go by. It's just now hitting 80 degrees, so I'm still probably looking at 0.6, 0.7 the most to start off with. The only thing that might change that is if I get a really weird bite or something, then I might switch it up just to go a little bit slower and just see if they want that instead. Now the part that'll be interesting.
I'm sorry, you must have broke up. How
Be,
fast did you say you were? How fast did you say you were trolling?
I'm aiming for 0.5 to 0.6, but it's based on water temperature.
Okay. Right.
Like right now, I'm running my trolling motor on 1, and I'm still going like 0.7. So they're not running any current, at least on enough to pull out of this part of the lake. Like so I'm fishing the islands, I'm
Brandon,
following a.
Brandon, you could make them run some current tonight for you.
I could make a few calls. No. I mean, we've had like a consistent 30K all day. I haven't checked it since the tournament, though.
Oh, somebody just caught a fish downriver from me. I hear him hooting and hollering. Man, I think I got stung by a bee.
Better you than me.
You're a poet and didn't even know it.
I know. I'm allergic to them. I can't get stung. Well, I am dragging from the comfort of my craft room. Yeah, I've got this nice, comfy computer chair that's kind of got funky wheels on it. So, hey, Rowdy Royal.
What's up, Rowdy?
One thing you don't want to do.
What's that?
Don't want to toss your clam board out so hard that it disconnects while you cast it. It may or may not result in a tangled mess.
No, that leads me to another question for both of you guys. I'll start with Brandon first. What kind of clips do you like on your planer boards?
So on the board itself, on the back clip toward the bait, I like the ones that you don't have to take apart. It's just like a slit that you slide the line in and out of.
Open clip.
Yeah,
so to speak.
Yeah, like a open clip like that. You just slide it on, and then me and Bob found these blue clips where you can either run it down so the bait will pop out of it, or if you want to lock it in where it can't come off, you flip it up. So we've enjoyed those two.
Gotcha.
And then on my tackle, I'm like a sinker slide guy most of the time. I've got those on all my rigs are sinker slides.
I got you. What kind of clip do you like on your planer board?
What about you, Yak?
I've only ever used the yellow ones, so I don't have an opinion on really anything. I take that back. I'm sorry, that's not true. The ones I have for suspending is on my smaller FOA boards. They came with the red clips on them already, or in the bag with them. I gave those a shot because with the suspending baits below a board, I found it was doing much better in terms of being able to keep my board if I broke off, if I used the one that locked down entirely.
Right.
So I use the yellow free clip or just the yellow pinch clips when I'm dragging, but if I'm suspending below a board, I use the red clips.
Okay. Yeah, I prefer the. I mean, I've always preferred the yellow clips. That way, you know, if you get a fish on, if it bites it hard enough, it'll pop the board. So you're not fighting the board all the way.
Right. Yeah.
Or if you
And
get
some
a
people,
fish, go ahead.
I would say I know some people dislike that because one problem you can run into, which I haven't had it a whole lot. I've had it once or twice. If you're using the those pinch clips.
Yep.
I lost my train of thought just now. I'm not gonna lie.
Not surprising.
Happens to me all the time.
Maybe I'm more tired than I thought.
Well, maybe this will help. I use the yellow ones. I've always liked the yellow ones, like I said, because if a fish doesn't pull it off, if I get a bite and I see the planer board screaming, I can pop the clip myself, and I'm not fighting the planer board all the way in, at least till it gets to the leader.
I remember what it was. The fact that those break free like that, and it depends on what kind of clip is on the part that goes on the line, not the pinchy part, but the one that goes on first.
Right.
The Beck clip. If it's got a big enough or wide enough opening, it can slide down over your sinker, over your hook if you lose your bait or something, and then come off too.
Right.
I've almost had that happen to me one time, but I was using a dragging weight, and it happened to loop around it. It's the only reason why I didn't have to go chasing the board down. Like I said, not a huge conundrum, really. I mean, the likelihood, especially if you're using, like I said, using dragging weights, or if you're maybe got some sort of like a stopper bead or something. I know I thought at one point maybe there was going to be a continuing problem, which it wasn't. But those brush guards that Dragon Master sells, I thought about getting if I had a continuing problem with that, I was going to get a couple of those because they're wide enough. I could put them at the top of my swivel for the actual leader, and that would catch a board if it broke free like that. But then I decided it didn't happen often enough to pay that much money because, you know, we're catfishing. We're not professionals. We don't do this for a living. We don't get paid to do it. I'm not made of money. So, but that was going to be my solution to it if it became a problem.
Gotcha. One thing I will say that I really like about the FOA boards that Freddie and Nina send out is it comes with 3 different clips, and you get to choose the one you like.
Yeah, I haven't tried the heavy duty clip yet. I don't usually run baits big enough for me to warrant that. I'd rather have it break free, like you said, and just fight the fish. The only downfall, I know, if you ever watch any of Dieter Melhorn stuff, he's not a fan of just letting the board go all the way down to the clip. But if you don't do it that way, it presents another problem. Obviously, if you're trying to take the board off, if you let any slack between your rod and it while you're trying to get the board off, there's a chance the fish could pop off.
Yep.
So something to be aware of for anybody who's new to it or figuring it out.
Yeah, you always want to keep tension on that line.
So how far back behind the boat do you all drag?
Depends on the depth of water.
50.
If I'm fishing in 20-something feet of water, I want to cast of at least 30 feet before I put a board on or before I put in a rod holder if it's the one off the back of the boat. I want my bait to be able to get all the way down to the bottom. And the angle, I think it's something to do with the way those sinkers are made. The angle seems to help with them being more snag resistant or not. You get a better angle by having a little bit more line out, in my opinion.
For me, it helps to know, or I think it's imperative to know the depth of water in which you're fishing. If you're gonna fish an undulating bottom where it changes depths frequently, I always go with the deepest depth, and I try to estimate how far back, how much line I put behind my board by what the deepest part of the water is, so that because I've seen some people that cast out as soon as it hit bottom, they're putting a board on it. But then if you Now, if the bottom drops out, now you're not dragging baits near the bottom anymore. You're suspending them. So it never hurts to have extra line behind your boards, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, you can have it far back as you want, but at that point, it just depends on how long you want to reel a fish in, right?
Yeah, I'd rather have too much line than not enough.
Oh, for sure.
I've always done better on the boards that are super far from the boat, especially shallow. So I'll run my lines like an eternity away from the boat, and first time people come at me, they're like, "Where are you sending that board?" Like that's what I do.
Yeah, for me, for as far as the boards away from the boat, it all depends on what the boat traffic is around me. If there's very little boat traffic, I'll send my boards, 30, 40 feet away from the boat. But if there's quite a bit of boat traffic, I may stick to 15, 20 feet.
See, it's kind of funny. My experience is different. I actually have more luck with the line straight off the back of the boat than I do under the boards. Generally speaking.
Yeah, we had most of our fish caught today on the chicken was from the ones straight behind the boat.
But yeah, I'm currently running just 4 rods until I get a feel for things. 1, because I had to retie 2 rigs, but 2, I'm not sure how bad the boat traffic is. There's a lot of them out here when I came out here, so I don't know how bad it's going to stay, I should say. So I'm running my pattern a little bit tighter. But I have my baits alternated. I got bluegill chicken. But I got 2 that 1 of each bait straight off the back of the boat, and then 1 of each bait off the side. And we'll see what happens.
Welcome in, Buggy. He said, "What have we here?"
What's up, Bo Man?
Currently just a chatting show about dragging because nobody's caught a fish yet, so it's not a fishing show yet.
But we're still dragging baits.
We are still dragging bait. That is true.
Jeff Bill says, "Fishing reel with a line counter, I would think would be a plus. I have 2 that I've never used."
So I know if you're how can I say this? I feel like with catfishing, it's a lot more laid back. You don't have to be as precise with your numbers on stuff. Almost every walleye guy I've ever talked to that drags boards, or any kind of striper fisherman that drags boards, they almost always swear by the line counters. Especially if they're running 8 boards or whatever. If they're only running 2 lines off the back of the boat and they're running 6 boards, they know for sure how far that board's going to pull off the side of the boat if they have that line out that way, right? I think in that kind of situation where you're dealing with that many boards, then sure. But I think with catfishing, because especially as you're dragging baits on the bottom rather than being suspended below a board, it's not as critical. I can see where they'd be useful, but I mean, in terms of having to go buy out a whole set of them for catfishing, I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
Obviously, I'm not saying don't do it. Do what you want. It's your stuff, your money. But you will likely not see me buy a set of line counter reels for catfishing, at least.
Sorry about that. I had to trying to get my planning board closer to the boat. I'm coming up on a boat right here. I want to skirt the shore, but my board was pretty far out there, so.
Dustin might not catch a fish tonight, but he will definitely clean up the lake. Ask me how I know that.
Uh-oh. It's pretty low blow. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Ask me how I know that.
How do you know that, Lisa?
Cause that Dustin guy was on our boat, and we were dragging, and every time he reeled in his line, he had someone else's line.
That's like good
Yeah,
I can't see the screen that well. Are my lines showing up okay? My rods, I mean, the 4?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I see 3.
Is the one all the way? Hold on, my camera angle might be bad.
That
you see
one
2
you
right there,
can't,
right?
yeah, I can't hardly see that one. I mean, I
Okay.
know it's there, but you can't hardly see it.
Yeah, I gotta see if I can get an extension cord for the Hellfire lights, because they're designed to be sold as a pair or whatever. So they give you Randy and I split it, right? Well, I can't have them that far apart very well and it light up everything good. I really would like to go another 6 inches on the other side, one so it doesn't light up my motor as much. But if I can get that outside rod too. I'm also thinking about adding like a not a piece of wood, but some sort of a wedge on it to tilt the black lights up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being straight out the back of the boat. There is just enough wind to be obnoxious because of how slow I got to go. I am using a drift sock, but still.
So why would you need to use a drift sock, Anthony?
To put pressure on the back of the boat to help make it so your current isn't going to make you go back and forth. It does help a little bit with like waves and wakes from other boaters, but also wind's the main thing you use it for. And you can actually drag baits with only a drift sock and not a trolling motor. If you don't have a trolling motor, you can technically do it with a drift sock as long as you have a breeze. You just have to drift in the direction of the breeze and use the drift sock to keep the baits behind the boat. I have seen people do that quite often with actually there was a guy doing it today, I think, that was just using the drift sock in our chicken tournament. He was who was that? Jeremy? Was it Jeremy? He was on Chad's channel. He was on Chad's channel and he caught a fish right at the very end. Right after the booger. I'm pretty sure he was talking about how he was using a drift sock at one point, no trolling motor, because the wind was so strong.
Greg Burgess says, Dustin, you guys enjoy life while you can. I'm not ready to slow down.
I hear you.
He says, I love watching you guys.
We appreciate you watching us, buddy.
Jeff Beal says, Lisa, have some fun later. He didn't tell y'all to have fun.
Well, thanks, Jeff.
Just pointing that out.
So I might actually have a bath on, because I have one of the tiniest bluegills I had. I put it out first just to get it out of the way. The rod's looking really funny. It's not one of the ones with the boards, but it keeps doing this random little tipping. I don't know if it's that bluegill just fighting for the absolute life of himself, or if it's a tiny fish that's got a hold of it. I can't tell. Well, we talk about that quick, Dustin. What are some tips you got for people that are using boards and even with dragging, but boards especially? What are some tips for people that deal with specifically light bites on those? Because obviously, when a big fish hits it or a huge aggressive takedown happens because the board starts running every which way. But what about those light bites?
Typically sometimes, even today with the lighter ones, we didn't even know they were on there until we reeled it in to check the baits. So, if you got a small fish, sometimes it's hard, unless you're staring at the boards, it's hard to know what's going on underneath that board. So if you get a smaller fish on there, typically, in my experience, even the smaller fish, you'll see the board jerk a little bit.
Okay.
They probably won't hit it hard enough to pull the line out of the clip, but it'll jerk the board and it'll be acting funny. And typically, I just check it. If it's got If it's got a funny movement to it, I'll check it, and then and if it doesn't, I'll just throw it back out and keep going.
Yeah, a lot of times you check those boards that just fall behind and look funny, and they just have a dink that's been getting drug behind the boat for 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then if the fish are biting finicky, like they slam the bait and they keep missing, slam the bait, miss. Like a lot of times on my like pin reels, I'll actually drag with the bell open with only the clicker engaged and just let them get it really in their mouth, take off with it before I engage it.
That's an idea.
That's one good way to do it.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you can only do that though if you're I think in a lake somewhere where there's no current.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's another thing.
Or slack. If I were to turn my
I don't personally usually drag on the main river. When would you deem it a good idea, or maybe the right idea, to drag on a river versus a lake?
You asking me?
Anybody. You guys are the masters of this compared to me. I'm just not figuring it out.
I'm not a master of anything, but
Amen.
hey, watch it, Lisa.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Brandon. You take that one.
I was gonna say, as far as dragging the river, like if I check the TVA app and the flow is like 20K down, like I can go down there and drag no problem. Of course, the faster it is, the heavier dragging weight you want, whatnot. And there's seasons where there's lots of grass down there, and you don't want to be going against the flow on the river. It's sometimes better to suspend drift with it due to all the grass, but yeah, if it's low flow, we can kill it on the river dragging baits.
Yeah, in my opinion.
So do you drag upstream or downstream?
I 100% drag upstream when I do it.
So is there a concern that your bait trail isn't getting to those fish, or that they're having to chase it for miles and miles to find it?
No, because I think it's more of a reaction bite. With dragging, you're just putting it right in their face and they snap at it. I don't think they're really chasing it up the river. Kind of like bumping, you're just putting it in the right place at the right time.
So, in my opinion, I think each type of fishing has its time, right? So, I can talk about the James River, because the James River can have the flow like the Tennessee coming out of one of those dams at some points when the tide's it's a super tide and the water's going really fast. Or the James River can be still as a lake where there's no current whatsoever, because they call it's the transition between the ingoing and outgoing tides. And then of course you got the tides. So the James River as a tidal river can react much like any kind of body of water that you're gonna fish on. And each one of those times has a specific technique that works best for that time. So in my opinion, if you're going to be fishing the river in a transition period, or what we call slack tide, then in my opinion, it's best to drag baits to move the bait. If you got a little bit of current, you can either suspend drift or drag baits against the current. Or if you've got a lot of current, your best bet is to anchor fish. All right, so I've got a boat up in front of me, so I'm gonna reel in and let the tide take me back up and start this run again.
Jeff Bill says, I was joking. I have to wake up early tomorrow morning. Best of luck.
Good night,
Have a
Jeff.
good one, Jeff.
Greg Burgess
All right,
says, I'm ready to go break my PB record for this year. 20-pound blue.
Go for
My
it, man.
first trip this year. He said he's fishing from the bank. Brian B says, what the heck is going on in here? Brandon finally fishing his pay lake. Dustin working out his wedgie. Yak just being Yak. And Lisa just being wonderful as always.
Oh, you suck up.
What do you want, Brian?
Brian's actually been my buddy since CatCon.
Nah, Brian's a good dude. I got nothing bad to say about Brian.
That's because you don't know him that well.
I mean, that's also fair. The only thing I can say at all is I wish he'd fish more.
I'm just kidding. I gave Brian a lot of grief.
Like I said, the last time I saw him fish was what year was the Biggest Loser tournament? It was that year. What year was that? 22. He was fishing with Haz that time. That's the last time I seen him fish.
I've never seen him fish my entire YouTube career.
Wow.
I don't think. No, I'm just kidding.
I've got Possum on my phone playing, and him and John Euler says to tell y'all hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up? Sorry if we're going over their established show.
They've only been on 30 minutes. I figured they'd be on like a lot earlier, but shows they've only been live for
I always
30
thought
minutes.
I know they used to come on. They come on Saturdays, but I always
They
thought
used
they
to
ended
do
earlier.
They used to do 2 o'clock, and then they went to 3 o'clock, and then they went to 8 o'clock. And I think they've got somebody on panel from Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I got to meet John at CatCon last year.
I told
John.
him he was.
Euler. John Euler.
Yeah,
Okay.
John Euler. I told him this past CatCon that he was disgusting.
Oh, geez.
Do you not see the video where he was eating worms? If he wanted to prepare for to be on the show alone.
Well, you've obviously never watched my lives where if I get a goal set, I take a bite out of a shad. Pretty gross.
That's just disgusting.
It is. It's awful.
Okay. I mean, I've seen Josh Thompson eat fish. I mean,
I like sushi, but that shad is not sushi. That shad is bait. There's no denying that.
I have seen Stan 3 lick a catfish from tail to nose.
I mean, I'm sure there's worse things in life than that.
You know, that was one thing. But he was enjoying this. John Euler was enjoying eating the worms. So, yeah.
I mean, depending on if you're a tequila drinker, depending on which kind you get, I mean, those people eat worms.
There was no drink with it. He said I gotta be able to eat anything if I want to be on this show to survive.
You think that was Survivor or something?
I know, but he was going for the show alone. I'm like, well, okay. But you're disgusting.
I had to get my trolling motor looked at. I think it's got a funny squeaking sound going on.
It's the belt. I'm just kidding. I don't know nothing about it.
Brian B says, after that, you haven't seen him, have you? Becky says, y'all, all right. I love y'all. Having interesting times. Oh, interesting times right now. Everyone be careful.
You too, man.
All right, you too, buddy.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, pretty sure I know what you're talking about, Becky, but I don't do politics.
Yeah, I'd rather we didn't do that on the show either.
So,
We're about fishing.
yep.
I thought for sure.
Still see me, Lisa?
What? Who said, can you see me?
That was Dustin.
Dustin.
Well, of course I can't see you. Thank God. You're not in the camera. You really want to ask me that question?
Internet.
Yes. I could see the rods.
My phone connection was iffy.
Roman, you sure you want to ask me that question? Can I see? You know I'm going to come back with, a smart aleck answer.
Who's Cassie?
Greg Burgess says my
Who's
biggest
Cassie, Lisa?
What?
Who's Cassie?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you said Cassie.
I did too.
No, I don't know a Cassie. Greg Burgess says my biggest blue cat was 97 pounds on a trout line.
It's a big cat.
It's a big cat.
It's a big cat.
Yeah, it was a bummer to drag it and I hook it into that trot line that had like 7 or 8 fish on it. And Lisa's, I don't remember who was hosting that. That one's Chrissy. Chrissy said I couldn't count it.
You technically caught all those fish on one hook.
Technically, yeah. I did end up breaking that guy's trot line though, so good luck finding the 2 halves.
Good.
Well, he shouldn't have had it where he had it. You're not supposed to. Tennessee's got a bunch of regulations on what's legal and not legal with trot lines and stuff, and how long they can be, and how many hooks they can have on them. I'm sure most places do, but just that's the only perspective I see it from. But specifically, it says not to go across creek mouths. And this guy had it across the creek mouth. Now, one thing I will say that's not specified, and maybe that's the argument he makes or did make when he put it down, is that creek line or creek mouth or creek channel rather was completely underwater. But it is still a creek channel, and it specifically goes out from the coast where the Coast Guard boat comes in and out.
Oh.
So I would think he wouldn't be allowed to be there, but I don't know.
Brian B., member for 22 months, says Dustin is King Wedgie.
Thank you, Bubbles. Appreciate you.
All right, now I gotta ask. Maybe I shouldn't ask, but what's with the King Wedgie title?
Because Brian's jealous that I'm so tall, and a lot of the clothes, the like especially the coveralls that I wear. They're a little tight.
I got you.
So Brian likes to look at my butt when I'm on camera.
Yeah. And why is he looking so close?
I don't know. Every time I'm standing up, he's got to make a comment about my butt.
You know, if he fished more, you wouldn't have to look at your butt. Just saying. Brandon, have you gotten a hit at all over there yet?
Not yet. I've caught 2 snags so far.
Surprisingly, I've not caught any snags. I say that,
Luck-
and I'm about to get all 4 of them stuck probably. But
Luckily, they're. I mean, unfortunately, they weren't fish. Like the 50-pounder I caught during the tournament. I thought I was snagged at first. I told Bob, I'll shoot him snag. Gonna break this off, and then all of a sudden it started peeling drag. I was like, oh, it's a fish.
I love those.
yeah, I
kind of
told
fish.
Shannon. I said when you I didn't see where you were on camera because I couldn't. My phone kept overheating, so I had it like in the shade and everything. And I said, well, how much you want to bet he caught that in that spot where we were drifting chicken earlier?
Yeah, I didn't want to answer that way. Where'd you catch that? Oh, the area you fished thoroughly already. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, you know, part of it.
Hey, Lisa,
Yep.
you have any suggestions for Anthony for his phone overheating?
It's called a fan. Brian B says his pants love him more than the fish do.
Oof.
You don't even know what a fish is anymore, Brian.
Brian said, Brandon better relax. I have photos.
It's got a whole file on me and my pay lake. I have a farm with I have like a 1-acre pond that just has some random fish in it at my place, but everyone says it's my pay lake. I'm like, oh no.
So what I'm hearing there is Brian likes to take pictures of other men.
That's the big takeaway. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard.
He said, let's not forget the Disney trip.
Oh goodness. I was hoping that one would just go away.
Now, Brandon, this is Brian we're talking about here.
I know.
Well, time to start drifting the channel edge, I guess.
I'm marking big fish.
His
like
fish aren't that big.
Well, I was marking fish going in here, but I ain't got
like big
now.
mark. Bunch of big marks 50 foot down, but that doesn't mean they're catfish.
That's also true.
So what I'm hearing is Brian's fish stories aren't that big, but his box of blackmail pictures are.
Yeah, that's right.
He said, I keep all photos, never know when they will come in handy.
Oh boy.
With a big smiley face.
About to check my 2 chicken rides, I think, because chicken don't last long in the 80-degree water.
Nope. It don't. Brian B said, but they are safe. For now. Okay, maybe I added that last part, but you know. He just said they're safe.
There's definitely a lot of bass or striper or something over here too, Brandon. They're in 8 foot of water. One thing I want to do once Freddie gets some more of them in stock, I want to buy some of those micro cranks. I'm gonna try running them long line in places like this that they put market to see what I can catch someday, just for fun of it, you know. I think it could be a lot of fun. Oh, I'm about to run to a buoy. We don't want to do that.
Don't do that.
Brian said, I'm going to be listening in a minute. I got to get up early and go fishing.
he's a comedian too.
Yeah, Brandon's fishing deeper water for sure. I'm fishing significantly shallower water. Him and I were like, well, hey, let's just split the lake up. See if we can figure out something.
So far, I've figured out they don't want my chicken.
I mean, that's fair. Ain't nothing hitting live bluegill either.
Well, mine don't want shad, so.
I will say I am currently using chicken that's marinated in a, I call it the shoush, but it's a catfish attractant. It's shad based. It did pretty well for me below the dam. I will say the biggest one we caught was on strawberry jello chicken. But yeah, Shane and I gave up fishing that spot anymore because we started catching nothing but channel cats, and they were all like 5 pounds. I'm like, it doesn't help us any. So then I went bumping. And of course, I bumped 2 more 5-pound channel cats. And then Brandon snagged a 50-pound blue cat.
Yeah, a lot of it's just luck, man. Just right place at the right time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Brian B says Chicken Challenge 2.0 tomorrow.
So we all have proof that you went fishing?
Yeah, Brian, are you going to go live?
got a random rogue light blinking green.
I'll be right
He
back.
said,
I mean, I might still be here, but.
He said, you might see me, you might not.
So he's not. Okay, got it.
Anthony, I told Brandon earlier that I was very proud of him for that I congratulated him for winning, and that I was very proud of him for not falling off the boat today.
Yeah. Yeah. I was almost Brandon today.
I was very, very proud of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even wore I wore low profile shoes so my balance would be a little bit better. Lower my center of gravity.
Gotcha.
Buggy says, so what is this? Just a get-together fishing or something else? This is actually Dustin and Yak's new show, Whiskers Gone Wild, every Saturday night from 10 to 2.
Yep, from mid-June till probably mid-October.
Buggy, we're trying to do some educational stuff about different types of fishing, and we figured we might as well, be out on the water actually doing it. So we're trying to, we're talking about the specific type of fishing. Like tonight, we're dragging baits. So we're talking about why we chose where we chose, the gear we use, why we use it, all that kind of stuff. So anybody in the chat has any questions, feel free to ask. And Lisa's been gracious enough to lend us her valuable time and read chat for us. So
we'll talk tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. Like I said earlier, right now I like you, but ask me tomorrow, it might be a different story.
Lisa,
I am dead to the world by this time. You can ask Randy. I am dead. Right now, I am eating the tiny Skittles. Just for a little.
Hey, Brandon, what spot you go to first?
I'm down at Gray's Bluff.
Okay, so you are on significantly deeper water.
Yeah, I'm like at the Hidden Harbor Cliffs.
I got you. Yeah, I'm going to give this ledge a little bit longer, just to try it, but I am not seeing many marks in shallow water anymore.
It's action packed.
Yeah, yeah.
so a little earlier, if I can get this little baggie open, Brandon brought up that the mini lightsaber that I'm using that's on top of my planer board also comes in green. So I wanted to show you what the green looks like out here in the night. I can get this battery out. There it goes. There you go. So you jab this into your planer board, into the foam, wherever you want it, on the front, on the middle, on the back, whatever. I prefer it in the middle. And then it stays in there. It's got a pretty deep seat to it, so that much sticks in the foam. So probably about 1.5 inches sticks in the foam, and then another 1 3/4 is out of the foam. So it's a nice bright light, so you can see it in the water. I don't know if you can see my.
You can. I can see it.
Hold on, I think something's hitting my.
Why don't you put on full screen for a minute, Lisa, so that we can try to see it? Because I can't see it.
I can't do that.
Oh. Well,
Not yet.
darn.
Not yet.
Party foul.
Can you see that?
No.
Oh, no, that's because it's behind me. Hold on a second. I had something knocking on the bottom of my boat. I think I ran over a log or something.
Oh, there's a. I don't know if that was a snag or if that was a fish.
Greg Burgess says, Dustin, I have been fishing one time this year. I hate to say I'm in the same boat as Brian B.
There we go. Now can you see it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Brian B says, I'll be out there one night. I ain't teaching nobody my professional skills.
And then
And he
there's
said,
the green one in comparison.
Yeah.
I think the green one would show up better than the red one.
Well, out here on the water, I mean,
But I
camera, you're
can see
probably
the red
right.
one pretty good.
But out here on the water, like I said, I'll put the red ones up to the left-hand side, which matches the navigation lights. And then I'll put the green ones on the starboard side so that it matches the navigation lights so people can see it.
Brian B says, hold up. They trying to teach techniques, but they ain't caught a darn thing. I'd rather watch the bait shop.
Well, Brian, I did catch
He caught some braided line
tonight.
He wasn't even away from the dock when he caught the braided line. He said, all you caught was a wedgie, zip it.
There's one single hole out in the middle of this flat. I'm going over it in a minute, Brandon. If it doesn't prove to have anything, I'm gonna go around the bluff here and try to hit that Vincent Road section, I think.
I got you.
Either that or I'll drag it. That's tough. I could drag that island in front of Chester Frost too.
Yeah, that can be a good spot.
I'm so glad Dustin's just a silhouette on the screen. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Dustin.
Sorry, a lot going on.
He's meaning it.
So Brandon, what kind of trolling motor do you have?
I've got a 24 volt Tarova. That's actually been a really good one. It's been on my boat since 2020. It was actually on my prior boat before I got this one. I moved it over. So that thing's been a tank. I've never had a problem out of it. 5 years.
Nice.
The only
Anthony, what about you?
problem is it's.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say I really need one with a longer shaft on it for this boat because when I've got like all the big guys on the back of the boat, you can hear the prop like coming to the surface. I kind of need to sell this one an upgrade.
It happened one time. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not just you. It's anybody really. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that was the day that Shannon caught that 78 pounder. We had to shuffle people in order to go get that fish out of the river into the boat because, of course, Shannon wanted to see the fish, and I walked back there to give him a hand. And yeah, the prop came up. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Yeah, that was an awesome night. Y'all both getting PBs the same night.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Anthony, what kind of trolling motor do you have?
I have a Power Drive V2. It's a Gen 1 spot lock trolling motor.
Okay.
It's old. It was on my dad's boat before this one. It's only a 12 volt, but it works good for the most part. I couldn't anchor anywhere in the river today, though. Up by at least in that section up towards the dam, it was too much flow. Unless I wanted to sit outside of the current, which was not where the fish were for sure. But it is the longer shaft one, which does help. Like Brandon said, you get some of these big boats coming through here and they wake you out, and all of a sudden you're props above the water, and all of a sudden you're spinning around in circles, and lines are getting tangled. And I haven't had that problem, thankfully.
Well, I don't have one with spot lock. My trolling motor actually mounts to my main motor on the cavitation plate. It's made by Minn Kota. It's a 24 volt. I can't remember what it's called. EMC, I think. But they stopped making it back in 2013. I had found them online, and that's when I found out they stopped making them. And then I was talking about it one night, and Jaydog said he had one, and we made a swap. So he sent me the trolling motor, and it's really a game changer. I'm able to drag baits now, and it's huge. I mean, and I've got a potentiometer for a control, so it's a little dial that controls the speed on it. So I think I can fine tune my speed a little bit better than y'all can, because y'all have a button. So, but the downside doesn't have spot lock.
Spot lock's definitely nice. It's definitely something worth having, in my opinion, especially if you're a solo angler. Or if you don't like sitting in one spot for a long time, because pulling up anchor ropes can really mess up your shoulders.
Yes, and it can get your boat really dirty.
That too.
Brian B says Brandon got $100,000 worth of fishing equipment on his boat.
And catches monsters.
I haven't caught a
today.
50-pounder, and I haven't caught a 50-pounder in a few hours too. So it's getting a drought for me.
So what you're saying is money does buy happiness.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't let Brian get to. He's just jealous.
Was that a snag or was that a fish? Come on.
No, I can't see.
The board was starting to move funny, but now it's not. So, guess it was just a snag.
I tell you, there's a nice breeze out here tonight.
Yeah, there's a little bit of one here too.
I ain't got no breeze. I ain't got no current.
But you got AC.
Actually, this room is the only room, one of the rooms in the whole house that gets hot quick. It stays warm back here. The office is a flipping sauna.
Oh wow.
Dustin, I do have some good news for you, sir.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Next time you come fishing with me, I'm going to have spotlights on the front of the boat.
Oh, nice.
You're supposed to be here Wednesday.
Brian P, that's so mean. He said he hired a circus worker as his Joey earlier. I'm just talking about Bobcat that way. Greg Burgess says, Dustin, my biggest one when I was a teenager fishing with my dad was a 36-pounder. I miss fishing with my dad.
I bet, buddy. I bet. I miss fishing with my dad too. My dad's out in Colorado now, so my dad would live on the water if he could.
Once the bite's a little better, I know for sure the spawn's over. My mom, she comes back to Tennessee every, I don't know, once a month or whatever. Because I got a house here and up in Michigan. And she travels for work, so whichever house she's closest to is where she goes to for her off week.
Nice.
And She's never caught a big catfish before. Now that I got this boat situated, but I'm gonna try to take her out one of these next time she's home. But I would like for the spawn to be 100% of her first.
Yeah, I hear you there. Sean had a friend of his mother-in-law was in town from Maine, and he had never caught a catfish before. And we put him on. I think we caught 8 that day.
Nice. Yeah, the last person I took out that had never caught a catfish before, he ended up with a 30-pounder that night, and we ended up catching 10. And he caught a trifecta too, so
nice.
it was spoiled for sure. That's next.
Brian said you should have seen Bob going back and forth and side to side with the net for that 50-pounder. It was hilarious. Greg Burgess says, Dustin, I caught that fish on the 202 zip code.
Oh, wow. I got somebody downriver that stopped by this other boat that's got a really, really bright dock light running on his boat, and I can't. It's lighting up everything out of the trees over by me. You're not supposed to run with lights like that.
I actually have a fish on, I think, guys, on chicken.
Uh-oh.
I think. I may have a whole entire log or something to drag in his head. I don't know. I ain't fighting back. He's just swimming at the boat.
We almost got run over today on the water.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was close.
Oh, yeah, that's fish. Sweet. Got a fish. I don't know what it is.
Well, come in, Roger. There's muskrat.
Oh, that's a better fish. It's bigger than any of the ones I caught today. On chicken.
I got you on full screen.
There's hope, Brandon. There's hope.
Right on time, Roger. Right on time. See the first fish of the live.
Once it gets in a boat, it'll officially be a fishing show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fine. Come on.
I want to go home and I want to probably sleep all night tonight. And
Oh, I don't want to hear it right now. I don't want to hear it, Dustin.
Okay. I got you on full screen, Anthony.
Thank you. Fish is on the boat.
Sweet.
That was it.
Well, we wouldn't know because we can't see nothing.
Points. Oh, hang on a second. Hold on. Hold your horse.
Wait, who's got horses?
Fairly Lisa.
Hey, there we go. It's Yak.
Yeah, that's me.
Yakety yak.
Don't talk back. I just turned off my earpiece and I don't even know how I did it.
Oh, you know what? I brought the earphones you gave me, Lisa. I put those on and see how that works.
Have you used them yet?
I've used them, just not on a live.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, there. I can hear you too. Perfect.
There we go.
Nice.
Hey, that's a nice one. That's what? Is that a teener?
No, I think he might be 20.
Nice.
I'm going to wait in a second. No, this is a... Oh, come on. This is the broken one. I would grab the broken one.
We all know you got 2 sets of scales on there.
I got 3 now because they had that special one for the live tournament fishing league.
Ah, yes. So are you officially in that now?
No, I was not.
No? Okay.
You have to be. You have to get in at the beginning of the year in order to be in the league the whole time.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, 22.5.
There you go.
Nice.
Good fish.
Biggest fish of the day. Yay.
Whiskers Gone Wild is officially a fishing show.
Greg Burgess says, Dustin, I'm still old, but hanging in there.
There you go, buddy. That's all you can do. I feel old and I'm hanging in there, so.
Well, Brandon, that's 1 for shallow water, or shallow-ish water.
Wait.
Trying to get waked out here.
I just snagged again and the board broke off. I got to go back and.
Oh no.
reset it.
Hate when that happens.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. You got any tricks for avoiding that?
No. Don't break off.
Roger says he's on his way home from Sandusky.
All right. Hope you had a great trip.
Brian B said that's what your wedgie said.
Really? That's original, B.
Pretty
It
obsessed
is,
with that whip.
isn't
Just saying.
it? Greg Burgess says good fish, Yak.
Hey. That was on.
I am probably gonna butcher this, so I'm gonna, go ahead and apologize. JF Bard, B-A-I-R-D.
B-A-I-R-D. Probably Baird.
Baird?
Baird. I bet. Yeah.
Baird. I'm just gonna call you JF because I'm really bad. He says 22.5, nice fish.
Thank you.
I butcher names. I apologize.
That's a name that I don't think I've heard before. I might have been in here before, but welcome in.
I work with a gentleman whose name is Baird. Sure. We call him Bant because half I can't spell his name or pronounce it right. So.
Bairn, as in a Scottish child?
Yes.
Okay. A Bairn.
What with a D in the end of it.
Oh, okay.
So not 100% that way, but yeah. But it's still things we're getting used to saying and whatnot.
Roger says that's a gooder one.
A gooder one, yeah, exactly. I thought for sure something would smack a live bluegill. The fact that I'm getting hits on chicken is making me a little sad. But I guess I can't complain. A fish is a fish.
That's a nice fish. Anything in the 20s is a nice fish.
I thought you were asleep there, darling.
Is Randy in there?
Uh-huh. Yak just
Welcome in.
Yak just caught a 22.5, baby.
I guess I'm going to keep drifting the edge of this hole, Brandon.
Keep rolling if it's working.
Brian B says, Randy, go back to bed. You're dreaming. Greg Burgess says, Dustin, can't wait till I get in the boat again.
Well, I got a lot of chicken to use. I might go ahead and, what time is it? It's now midnight. I got 2 more hours to go yet. I might go ahead and do 2 more boards.
I'm not going to push my luck. I've got one board and one line behind me.
Yeah, your situation's a little different than mine, though.
Yeah.
Brian B says this is not alive. You are still sleeping. Randy's not asleep.
It was on the outside board and then chicken, Brandon. Oh, dang. This got really shallow really quick. I ain't a fan of that.
Uh-oh.
I got somebody in front of me that just dropped a gill net pretty much across the entire river.
No farting neither, Randy.
Went from 30
Okay.
feet to 7 feet.
Ooh, that is a pretty steep and quick change.
Well, now I'm marking a ton of fish. What the? What the smoke? Apparently, I wasn't shallow enough, I guess. I guess I'll stay on this for a minute.
I'm looking at some decent fish here in about 20 feet of water. I'm not catching anything though.
Six and a half foot. We go a little bit deeper.
Roger says no such thing as too shallow.
If your boat can go in 6 inches of water, Roger will fish it.
Oh, he can have it. Flag effect.
Brian B says, okay, I'm going to listen mode. Gotta get up at 6.
You
So
said that already once, Bubbles. He's gonna dream about getting up at 6 and going fishing.
Is it a dream or a nightmare?
Depends on what he does in his dream. Nightmares are considered dreams too, so.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I'm at 6 feet of water. I'm still marking fish. This is ridiculous. What is this? Ooh, that's a good mark, too. Man. It's probably a carp or something. What do you think, Brandon? 6 feet of water, is it carp or catfish?
Yeah.
He's kept himself muted.
He's been exercising his special vocabulary for all those snags he's catching. I will say, for those who are watching, a lot of this stuff you can figure out just by actually going out and good trying it. And there's a lot of stuff that you won't figure out or can't read about or whatever. You have to just discover while you're out there. Especially since every body of water is a little bit different.
Be right back.
Okay. loud boat.
Yeah. Dude, I came across the David Elisa's Dragon tournament. I was launching from that dock, and this guy came up with this boat, and it couldn't have been much longer than like 17 or 18 feet. Stupid shallow. He backed it in the water, and I swear to you, he had like 2 inches from the top of the water to it flooding his boat. He had a 250 on the back of this thing.
Wow.
And another guy asked him about it, how fast it went. And he said I can get 80 miles an hour with this thing. I'm like, why?
Why? I don't understand why you need to go that fast.
Exactly. Supposedly he was selling it the next day, and he's want to take it out for one more hoorah before he got rid of it. But I watched him coming back in. He couldn't even idle that thing without it trying to porpoise. It was nuts.
Yeah, the guy that sold me my boat that I'm in now, I asked him if he had any other boats. This was actually his father-in-law's boat that he was selling for him, but he said he had a pontoon boat built that had 300 horsepower motors on the back of it.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need that.
He got that pontoon. He said he got that pontoon up to 80 miles an hour across the lake. I'm like, you got a death wish? I mean,
Right.
The older I get, the more I focus on purpose over looks or vanity.
Right. Right.
So maybe it serves a purpose for him, but I just don't see the point.
This boat's rated up to a 125, but it's got a 60 on it. I'm fine with that. I can hit 30 miles an hour. That's all I need.
That's all you need. Like this boat actually, I think can have a 150 on it, and I've got a 90. Again, like you said, I can hit 30 to 35 miles an hour. I don't need to go any faster than that. Especially as narrow as the river can become at some points.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you get over there and all of a sudden you hit a turn you don't know about or can't see or forgot about, or what if you got to dodge something? I mean,
Yeah, going across the river. I'm sorry, Lane. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, dude, what was that? What was that? What was that? Come on, man. What was that? I don't know. I don't know if I had a bat running into my rod or what. It did something funky. The little baby bluegill finally did something. Probably a gar. Anyway, I had to dodge somebody today because they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. And if I was going faster than I was, I wouldn't have been able to dodge them in time. I would have had to go the other direction, which would have put me really, really close to the bank. That's even out here on the big lake, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy that they have that much water to maneuver in, but they want to get 20 feet from your boat.
Yep. Yeah, something stole my bluegill.
Darn. Well, Greg Burgess says, Dustin, I've never used electronics. Can't wait to try it out.
Sweet. Yeah, my electronics aren't that great. I can see one thing that when I upgrade the electronics on this boat, I'm definitely getting one of the side scan. I do not have side scan, and I know everybody tells me that's the bee's knees next to, of course I'm not going to go out and buy a Love Scope, but side scan, yeah, Love Scope.
I heard called that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Isn't that what it's called, Brandon?
Yeah, that's what they said when there was the controversy at Winter Blues when they said we were using that on that 70-pounder.
Love Scope. I mean, well, as far as the live scope goes, I mean, I will say that some people do use it on catfish, but most of the electronics I've seen used are on bait fish.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Yeah,
A lot of people will go find. Go ahead, Brandon.
the live scope's a game changer for using your cast net too to get bait and make sure you're not throwing into anything to lose your net. You know.
Absolutely. Oh man, I could fall asleep right here.
Shh.
I said that just for you, Lisa.
I'm
Don't pull
sure
a
you
Jody.
did.
What, that and then get a big fish?
Right?
Yeah.
The snore bite? I don't even know why I keep looking back. I got my bait clickers on, so if something takes them, I'll hear it. So that you might see me go live a couple of times next week because I'm off all week.
Enjoy it, man.
Are you?
My birthday is on Tuesday, so I always take my birthday week off.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
What he said.
I will be old.
I didn't say how old you were. I
Sure.
wasn't trying to mean. I'm not Lisa.
No, that was me. Oh,
Hey, yeah, Dustin said it.
I will be older. No, I'll be 45 on Tuesday.
I was never 45.
No,
Can't use that
what'd you
line that all
skip
the
to?
older people
60,
use of me. They're
65?
like, I was such and such once.
I love when people ask you on your birthday or the day after. It's like, so what's it feel like to be 45? I'd be like, I don't know. I've never been 45 before.
Well, I can tell you, it's just like any other day.
I agree. I always like to tell people that birthdays are like chapters in your life. What they're meant for is kind of chapter markers, right? So you can look back on your life and remember, that year as you got a bookend and you got bookends for the year, so you can look back on that year. Other than that, the age is just a number.
45 feels the same as 44 did.
Last pass of this hole. I'm gonna push spots, I think.
Well, now that boat that was down here earlier, I think has moved a little farther down. I'm going to drift a little farther down here. I'm not marking any fish here though. I am staying close to the bank. Ooh, there's a breeze. I'm currently in about 26, 27 feet of water.
You know, one thing we haven't covered yet, other than using boards and whatnot. What's some of the gear you're using, Dustin?
Pretty much all FOA gear. I've got bright bite hooks, 8/0 bright bite hooks on right now with Nina Ninjas. Or I got one of them who's got a Nina Ninja and a 3-inch peg float on my 120-pound FOA leader. I've got the hook the line protector over the end of the shank of the hook, the green glow in the dark line protector.
Yeah.
Like I said, with a Nina Ninja and a 3-inch peg float on that, and then up to my 120-pound FOA swivel. That's also tied to my FOA 40-pound power line for my main line. On my, I got my FOA, the planer board. The FOA planer board is on the FOA 5-foot rod, and my FOA effing rod is the one dragging right behind the boat.
What about you, Brandon? What are you using?
I got FOA planer boards, homemade dragging weights that Bobcat makes in his spare time. I use all FOA hooks. I like the bright bite hooks. That's more of a J looking hook for bumping and suspending, and then I also have some of his like get 'em hooks, circle hooks. I generally run like really cheap sinker sliders. I got Andy Monster mono leader line, 125-pound test, and either 65-pound braid or a 40-pound Berkeley big game, just depending on the size of the reel. And Mad Cat's rods. Yeah, about it.
I got you. Well, I'm using all of the FOA spinning rods. Using Akuma reels, and I got a couple of, they're not Akuma, I can't remember the brand of them, but they're actually carp fishing reels. I gotta get some more Akuma reels so I can get them popped out. But power line on most of them, Berkeley Trilene big game on the rest of them that haven't been swapped yet. I have a mix between the rattle floats, Nina Ninjas, and the 3-inch peg floats. I like to have a mix going on. And then using FOA dragging weights, 2 and 3 ounce, depending on which rod it is. And then I'm actually using Kamikaze circle hooks. It's good. I can get a hold of right now. But ones I found I really, really like, and I wish I had more of, was the river stickers from FOA. They're more of a hybrid tail circle hook. That goes a lot. Especially with blue.
I've got some of those.
I need to get some more. I was out. But the fact they have that V shape really, really keeps the bluegills from hooking themselves over again, which I like. And for planer boards, I got a mix of FOA and Parks planers. I want a set of Parks planers at CatCon. It was six planer boards and a set of the Patriot lights, which I am not a fan of the Patriot lights. They one of them didn't even come with a bulb, but it's a lot of work to get them on, and it's only held on with a sticky 3M adhesive, which I don't foresee lasting too long.
All right,
That's why I was interested in those Saber lights you were showing off earlier, Dustin. So I'm thinking about getting some of those.
Yeah, like I said, and I'll send you the link to the charger you can get. And I got a. Oh, hello. I haven't stood up for a minute. you can get a 8-pack of those batteries um, with 2 chargers, and each charger charges 4 batteries.
Oh, nice.
And so you'll always have these saber lights as long as you keep your batteries charged.
That's pretty nice.
Oh man.
I used to run smaller leader line, like 80-pound, and then I've had a few unfortunate takedowns where it snapped. Like somehow I managed to break 80-pound leader on a big bite.
Oh wow.
On your really long boards where you don't have much line left on the spool, you got to be careful about your drag setting, or you'll pop one easily because it just has so much more torque. There's not much line on the spool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only use 50-pound leaders currently. I haven't upgraded my leaders yet. Even my bumping setup's only 50-pound leader. 65-pound braid, but only 50-pound leader.
Oh.
Of
I'm
course, my
down.
bumping setup's a little unconventional. I just use a bass, low profile bass fishing reel. But where I bump doesn't necessarily need to have a ton of line, so it's not the end of the world for me.
Yeah, all my reels are Ancient Mariner reels. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 albatross reels, and 2 FOA or 2 6,000 reels from Ancient Mariner. I do have a bumping rod. What I'm going to use for a bumping rod until I get the FOA bumping rod, which is a Ancient Mariner 7-foot Leviathan rod, and that's got an Ancient Mariner Ocean Tycoon, the original series. It's a low profile Ancient Mariner reel. I love that reel.
I got some used reels from Ed Jenkins when he upgraded. I got his old Penn Squall 20s.
Nice.
A set of 6 of those that match, and I've enjoyed those so far. They're the ones I was telling you where you can drag boards out here with just the clicker applied. Like the clicker holds it back long enough to pull the planer board. Have the
Nice.
Oh
bail
wow.
open.
Alrighty, I think it's time to change spots.
Yeah, I'm going back to my starting point, and I'm gonna make another run. I don't want to get too far away using my trolling motor. My batteries are fully charged, but
I don't blame you there.
running back and forth. I'm going with the current at the moment, going back up to the dock. So, but I'd hate for my batteries to die on me and then get stuck out here having to paddle again.
I guess it's
Yeah,
always better to break down upstream of the boat ramp, right? Float back to it.
Well, the one time I did have to paddle, I paddled for 3 hours up this very stretch, because I was out on the main channel on this stretch of river, and I paddled up here because I ran out of gas before I got my trolling motor, and there was no current because it was slack tide at the time. But probably about 10 minutes before I got to the dock, the tide started coming in, which was helping me. The problem was, if I missed the dock, I was going to keep going right around back out to the main channel.
Oh no.
But luckily, I was able to hit the dock. I was able to get to the dock without missing it. So, but if I would have missed that dock, I would have been in a world of trouble. I would have probably had to throw my anchor and pull my anchor and then throw it again and then pull myself up, or just anchor and go to bed.
Roger said squalls or tanks.
Lisa, you doing okay?
I'm good right now.
Okay. Just think, it's almost over.
So,
It's closer to being over than it was 30 minutes ago.
Oh, you're so observant. So observant.
The good thing for you though is once we cut the feed, then you get to go climb in your bed and go to sleep. I gotta pull the boat. I gotta pack everything up. I gotta get it out of the water. Gotta hook it up to the trailer. Then I gotta go drop it off. Then I gotta go home.
You want me to shed a tear for you?
Please do. Maybe
Nope.
2. Oh,
No, not gonna happen.
dang it.
Brendan's bored. He's typing in the chat. He said, I'm bored, no fish.
There's a solution to that, Brandon. It's fish.
I'm trying. I totally changed areas. I just got tired of snagging down there by that cliff. Usually go through there no problem, but today it's having a time.
Oh, geez, there's so much weed on this thing.
Oh, do you have grass?
I got grass.
What kind of dressing you want with that?
I like ranch or blue cheese, personally.
You can keep the blue cheese. Oof.
I was gonna say, yeah, you get that. I don't do blue cheese.
Well, I didn't used to until obviously times have changed for me since then. But there was a point where I couldn't eat ranch, so I had to change it up.
I will take ranch. I will take honey mustard. I will take Italian.
So when I was in the Army at basic training, they didn't give us a lot of time to eat. And so in order to get all my food groups, I would make me a kind of a chef salad. So I'd have the lettuce and the tomatoes and the cheese and the ham and the turkey. And then I covered that with cottage cheese. And then I covered that with French dressing.
My mom used to do that.
Seems like a lot of work.
It's not really.
Minus the ham, but my mom would do that.
Man, my trolling, I'm going with the current. My trolling motor is pushing I got an 18 and a half foot Bayliner Element. So it's probably about, I don't know how heavy this thing is. 2,000 pounds maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going. My trolling motor is pushing me 2.4 miles an hour.
Pretty solid.
Oh.
All right, where am I gonna go? Let's see.
Cool thing with this trolling motor is I don't really have to worry about anything hitting the props because the motor itself, the trolling motor itself, is mounted on the cavitation plate. So anything that comes back underneath my boat will hit my big motor first and then bounce off of the motor.
Right. Y'all have to bear with me. I'm going to mute myself as I change spots.
All right.
This two-stroke's not very quiet, so.
We went and looked at this boat yesterday. So, you know, we were kind of looking at options, you know, as far as what we'd spend for a motor versus what we'd spend for a boat.
Right.
And this guy's like, "Oh yeah, I done this and this and this and this to this boat. Because I'd put new flooring in, all the wood's new." Now, granted, I like the setup because he had two of the fishing seats up front and then two right behind it. So, like, you know, I like that setup. That's kind of what we're thinking of doing with our boat.
Right.
And I'm just kind of looking at stuff, and I was like, I don't think I'm really crazy about the big exposure of the gas tank. And I mean, he was bragging. I mean, this guy was bragging about lure that he done and where he had put the fishing seats. He sits down in one of them, and I kid you not, the floor just goes in a wave.
Oh wow.
I was like, no, you didn't fix the floor at all. The trailer was not actually the trailer that goes with it. It's actually a tri-tune trailer. The wheels are small, and the difference in that trailer and our trailer is we have the extra. We've got the chain to hook, and then we've got the straps on the back. You know,
Right.
he just had the one strap on the front, and I was like, that's not. I don't think I like that either. He makes
He
sure
didn't
he
have
does.
transom straps?
Huh?
He didn't have transom straps?
He just had the one strap on the front.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I don't like that either. He had a 36-volt trolling motor that had black tape wrapped around it. He said there's something wrong on the inside of it. And we were like, okay, well, we got some more stops to make because we were working. So I mean, we still had work to do. And
Right.
we get in the car, and it's just like, I don't like this. I mean, we were listing the stuff that we didn't like, and it's like, no, that's a no. That's an automatic no.
Wow.
I mean, it was just all the stuff that he had listed that was just wrong with it, and I didn't like. He's like, well, I was going to do this. I was going to get another tune and put under here, and I didn't get to that, and then I was going to do this. I was going to redo this.
Yeah. That's like red flag, red flag, red flag.
I mean, there was so many. It was crazy. Crazy. And I was like, you know what? I said, it was a thought. It was a thought. But I was like, you know what? If the guy around the corner wants it, let the guy around the corner come and get it, 'cause we ain't getting it. I said, I like our trailer. Our trailer has the extra, all the necessary straps, which I like that. I mean, I do wish ours had the ladder on the front, but
Right.
we've got that step pad, but I still wish we had a ladder because of the times he falls off of it. So I mean, and it's not a miss a step and fall. Like he fell from the top of it,
Wow.
and I was like, I think there's something going on because you're falling. But I mean, yeah, he was standing on the front of the boat on the trailer and fell.
Wow.
And I think that was prior to the gathering. I think that was prior to the gathering that he fell. Hey, Sandy Toes.
Hey, Sandy. Thanks for coming in.
But I mean, we did see this one boat once that we were looking at for work, and there's just a few like cosmetic damages, like the front corner it had hit something, so it was like the board was busted, the corner molding was busted. Nothing like extravagant, And we're
Right.
like, I was like, we need to watch this on IAA, which is where all the total vehicles go, all the totals. And so we need to look for this. We need to watch for this because we could take this.
Huh.
It was a Weir's Tritone. And I think it had a 90. I think it was a 90 horse motor on it. And we kept watching and watching. And it's like, there it is, there it is. Boat's available now. The boat's available now. And it was gone.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was nice. I mean, fairly well taken care of. But it just had that front corner that was busted.
Right.
And because of the age of it. Because of the age of the boat. And all the labor that is required to fix that one corner made it a total.
Wow.
Because you have to take the seats out. You have to take the fencing off. You gotta, and it's not just that one corner. You gotta take the front fencing off, the front seats off both sides. Take the carpet up. Take the floor up and redo it.
Wow.
I mean, this little corner adds up quite a lot. And it's crazy. I mean, even if there's damage to the lower unit, if it's just the lower unit, we can do that separately from the boat. But lower units are super hard to find.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we can find them. It's just hard. Now, Sandy says, I thought this was going to be on much later. I didn't convert the time properly. It's okay, Sandy.
Yeah, time conversion from us to Australia can be difficult.
And she's on Thursday nights at 8:00 with Hobby Leg.
Oh, yeah.
You say she's
gotta-
in Australia?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I want to go to Australia.
I don't.
She, yeah, I don't either. I do not want to cross the water for nothing.
Well, I don't want to deal with all the spiders and the snakes that can kill you over there.
Hmm.
Hey, Nubby.
What's up, Nubby?
She does go live quite
Yeah,
often when she's fishing.
I've seen her fishing. I've been in one of her lives, and then I watched. She's. I got our pre-show back since the bait shop took a hiatus. Now we got a pre-show back for Snaggin Night Live, so we have stuff to talk about.
Sandy says, "Look, none of the animals will get you. We all live here just fine, Dustin." What is the squeaking?
my steering wheel. I got rack and pinion steering on my boat.
She says she got roped into the pre-show by Troy. Yeah, we'll blame Troy for that. He didn't want to do 4 shows a week.
Oh. All right, a little farther than I was before. Let me get my lines cast back out real quick. I came a little farther around the bend. Ouch.
Sandy said, "Yep." He asked for a favor. I said, "Sure." Then he told me what it was. Rookie mistake. Sandy, I know the feeling. I ain't gonna mention any names.
I do not know it.
Dustin.
I do not know what you talketh about. I know not what you talk about.
I got roped into this, Sandy.
She didn't get roped in. We asked her. She was nice enough to do it.
Don't let him.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
She says the audacity of modern people. Well, I tell you, I didn't do it last week because we all had like connection issues and I couldn't stay connected because I was at the in-laws' house and I couldn't get connected to their internet. And Dustin was cutting in and out. And the program they were using was just kind of having some problems.
Until we switched over to StreamYard.
And poor Chris from Hooks and Hammocks had a beeping every 5 seconds that was driving him nuts, which I thought was really funny, but you know. But yeah, they switched over to StreamYard and I just went to bed. Because there was nothing I could have done. I mean, I didn't have any. I was having connection issues, so there was no point. So I said we'll try it again next week.
And we appreciate it.
She said I only manage connection issues when I go out to the property. The island has better internet than out there. It's outrageous. Well, we had a lot of.
I'm back.
Saturday there was a lot of weather issues. Those rain storms just about everywhere. And I used all my hotspot earlier that day because we had a tournament. And that night I just didn't. It just wasn't working. It just wasn't feasible.
Yeah. We struggled our first night,
We did.
but I think we're better now.
Yep.
It's all because Lisa's here.
I'm sure. What was that? What was that line you said to Brian?
Suck up.
Just suck up.
What you got, Anthony?
He asked me what I said to Brian earlier. I said, suck up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was not aware this island was this shallow out here, Brandon.
What did you say, brother?
So I was not aware that this island was this shallow out here.
Oh yeah,
The one front Fisher Frost.
yeah. It in the middle of it, it can be a little shallow, but you're safe to go pretty much anywhere on it though.
Sandy, you're a trip.
What'd she say?
But before I read that, I will tell you that Anthony caught a 22.5 pounder a while ago.
What, she can say that she was boring?
She said, "Have you managed a fish though? Like, Lisa can handle the hard part, but do you need her to catch a fish too?"
No, we need her. We need her reading chat. We don't need her out here fishing.
I don't fish at night, so it doesn't matter. I will not fish in the dark.
I actually prefer it. Oddly enough.
I wouldn't. I'm not. I mean, I don't not like it. I would rather be with somebody else, or like have somebody else with me on my boat out here fishing at nighttime. But
Oh, sure.
I'd rather fish at night in the summertime than in a day, any day of the week.
Dude, it was ridiculously hot earlier today. Hey, Brandon, main channel side or Chester Frost side?
I always do better. Excuse me, on the Chester Frost side.
That's what I thought. I've never fished it, so I wouldn't know.
Sandy, I don't like it because I don't like not being able to see my line. And I don't care if you shine a light. That's not good enough for me.
Oh, by the way, for those that are interested, the FOA spinning rods, I know for sure, have glow-in-the-dark tips on them. If you have to charge them up, though.
They certainly do. But as Freddie pointed out, another thing you can do with those little lightsaber things, if you want to tape one to the tip of your rod,
sure,
you can do that too.
How long do the batteries last in those things?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for it at this point because this is the first time I'm using them. But I will let you know when I figure that out.
See how far they go.
Yes, sir. But like I said, I bought a I bought 2 chargers and then 8 extra batteries from Amazon. So because they're rechargeable batteries,
Ah, okay.
and so I don't have any of the extra batteries out here with me tonight, but because I just got the batteries in today, but um, I have a feeling they'll last a fairly long time, because it's just an LED light.
I was gonna say that's the nice thing about LEDs.
What's that?
So that's the nice thing about LEDs. They don't take a lot of battery power.
That's correct.
Sandy says the rod could glow like a light. That doesn't make me any better at catching fish.
That's valid.
Right. Our next tournament, Sandy, is at night, and I will be fishing it because we've got another person on the boat with us.
When's that one? Want to talk about it, Lisa?
Huh?
You want to talk about it?
That's not till August, so I mean, there's plenty of time.
Well, it doesn't matter. So talk about it. August what?
23rd.
Which one is that?
That is the jugging tournament.
So that's gonna be at nighttime.
5 till 11.
Okay.
That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get some new set of glow sticks for my jugs.
I've got one, two, three. I think I've got 4 people signed up for it right now.
Maybe if you get some FOA lightsabers, you could put those on your jugs.
Good. That's true.
We had a old guy at the barn. He used to fish like that, and he said he would put gravel inside of his jugs. That way, when the fish hit it hard, you could hear all the shaking going on inside of the jug.
That's an idea.
Made a bunch of racket.
Sandy, if I had one in here, I could show you.
She asked what a jug is.
Well, she said, explain to me what jugging is. It sounds like an Aussie drinking game. Say, I don't have one. Well, it's basically, we use pool noodles with string on it, and we could drop 50, 60 feet down, and we've got a hook a foot from the bottom of the string with a weight on it, and you just drop them in the water till the sinker hits the bottom.
I'd say hers are unique because hers are stationary jugs.
I mean, you can use Coke bottle,
But I use Gatorade. I use the big Gatorade bottles for mine.
Milk jugs. Whenever some people take the pool noodle and put a piece of PVC down the middle of it.
Wish me luck, guys. This went over a really big mark. It's
Good luck.
either a log or it's a fish. But it had separation.
Sandy, it is a float, so when it starts moving or jerking around, there's a fish on it.
I will say one thing I do different than some people with mine. I know some people like to use just all rope for their jugs on it. I actually do a leader on mine. I do 4. I don't know. It depends on which ones I have. I have a couple of different lengths. Most of mine are between 2 and 4 foot of rope, and then I do a leader on top of that. That's however long I want it to be that night. But then I use circle hooks with them.
Let's see, Sandy.
I still can't believe I only had 1 hit on a live bluegill tonight. I would have thought for sure that had more attention than that. And that
Let's-
22-pounder come a piece of chicken.
Hey, Sandy, I just sent you a video through Facebook. And that should kind of help you out.
Hey, Brandon, I think I started spilling at the dam again. I've had to help my trolling motor a bunch.
Does that mean I'm going to catch a fish?
I don't know.
No.
Hopeful.
I don't think so either. I haven't checked any of my baits. I'm just sitting here in the dark, like tired from this morning being lazy. So
I mean, you
if I
did
catch
catch a
something,
50-pounder this morning.
if I catch something, great. If not, I'm having a good time.
Ultimately, that's all that matters. I think really it was that hard to upgrade a fish. I think we ended up with 6 fish that were 5 pounds or less at the very end there. It's like, really?
Oh, we had Sean and Ryan and I had 13 fish that were under 5 pounds.
Yeah, if you wanted some channel cats, the dam is a good place to get them right now. They were
Big.
We had to put like really large pieces of chicken on just to keep them from eating it. And you would feel like you'd feel 3 or 4 of them hit it before a good fish found it. It's just like bam,
Dude,
bam, 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 bam.
I had half a chicken breast on my bumping rod, and I still bumped a 5-pound channel cat.
Oh, that's funny.
It was awful, dude. I'm like, what is this?
And then Bob was running this bumping rig that had like 2 hooks on it. So there was like a piece of chicken on an 8/0 circle hook and about 8 inches lower, another one. He was like
Right.
doing like double chicken nuggets down through there, and the channel cats were gobbling those up.
Well, like I said, I tried running half a chicken breast. I was doing the same thing. I was hoping that it would deter the smaller fish a little bit, but no. I was getting a ton of hits, though. If I'd have had a stinger hook, I bet I probably would have caught 10 more channel cats probably doing that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to take a look at my trolling motor squeaking so bad right now. It sounds
Oh,
awful.
is that what that squeaking is? I hear it.
Yeah, that little high-pitched squeaking. Sorry.
Yep.
That's my trolling
No,
motor.
you're fine.
I sent Sandy a video, one of my shorts dropping one of our jugs. And she says, hold up, that just made more questions. Do you leave them and then come back and check them? Like a crab pot style?
Yes.
Now, we don't completely, like, leave the area. We spread them out over, oh gosh, Anthony, how far do you think we put them out that day you went with us?
The jugs themselves in the bay, or you talking about the 3 bays? Like which distance are you referring to?
Just from the first one to the last one. There's quite a ways, but not.
I don't know, 500 yards maybe total between, because if you think from the very back of the first bay out in the U shape, well, you made a W shape basically into those 3 bays, and then you went out to the main river channel. You can see everything with binoculars. A lot of people, Sandy, they'll just like, especially if they're fishing the river, they'll toss them out, and then they'll go sit down river and wait for them to come down river and check them that way. My wife's uncle, he does a lot of jug fishing in bays too, where he tosses them out and then he goes and checks them the next morning. Because unless it's a really big fish, they almost always stay where you put them.
No, we don't leave them. We just kind of hang out. I mean, we left them one time, but not overnight. I mean, we left them in Then went to Calhoun's and had some lunch. And went back. Yeah, I just parked the
Is Calhoun's
boat.
pretty good? Lisa,
Yes.
is Calhoun's pretty good?
Mm-hmm. I used to work at Calhoun's in '99 at the one in Gatlinburg.
Ah, gotcha.
And we
Oh, there
went
is one there. I forgot about that.
the other day because the brewery has similar food, and they have a kickback burger, which is it is so good.
I miss burgers.
I know you do, but I want to rub this in just because I can.
That's fine. I was telling my buddies at work, and they were like, "Why don't you just get an Impossible Whopper?" I'm just not at that level yet. I don't miss it that bad yet. Like, I miss it, but not to that level yet.
But it's got pepper jack cheese, and it's got this kickback sauce, which is some places call it comeback sauce or something like that. But I don't exactly know what's in it, but it has just a little bit of a kick to it.
Uh-huh.
And I told the girl the other day when we went, I said, you can leave the jalapenos off. I said, because they don't fix them like they used to. And she said, what do you mean? I said, I worked at Calhoun's in Gatlinburg because Calhoun's has the same burger. And I said, they used to cook the jalapenos a little bit so they weren't so like fresh, like you just took a jalapeno and cut it up. I said, they cooked them. And I said, they weren't an inch thick either. I said, but they had that on the burger. And we would get extra kickback sauce and put on. It's a good burger, but the more kickback sauce on it, the more you love the bathroom. Because the first time I had one, I was working at the movie theater in Pigeon Forge, and my boss goes, "You're gonna love this sandwich or this burger," and I said, "Okay." And I took one bite of it, and I was like, "So if I go missing for 30 minutes," he goes, "I know exactly where you're at. Just don't worry about it."
That's pretty funny.
Yes, it's not one I can eat all the time. It's like every once in a while because it tears my stomach up. Okay, Sandy says, "Oh, so they move. How do you know what size sinker to attach to them to stop them from drifting off into no man's land?" We have
You guys are using 3s, I think, weren't you?
3 to 5, I believe. Because not all of ours are the same, but it just really. Hey, Lila. That is a main girl, by the way.
Hey, main girl.
Welcome in.
I mean, they're going to drift a little, just depending on where you put them and really how many boats are around. But we've since I've been fishing with him, we've only lost one.
You lost it because you don't have any idea where it went, or?
Yeah, no clue. We were picking up our jugs and we were counting them, and it's like missing one. And we went up and down. Both of us had flashlights. Never could find it.
A monster fish must have taken it somewhere.
But
No
I've
clue.
got to figure out what the squeaking on is. It is. I'm sure it's annoying through the phone. It's 3 times annoying in person. I promise.
Well, I'm trying to ignore that, but you know.
I must have done something to it when we were at the dam earlier because we were. I was trying to be careful what I was doing with Shannon on the boat because she gets nervous, right? And
Mm.
so I was just going slow and leaving the trolling motor down. I wondered if I bent something.
Sandy, over here, you have to, all of your jugs have to be marked. You know, you have to have your name on them and your phone number. And I'm pretty sure that's I think that's standard in most states.
I will say one nice thing about Tennessee, you can put your TWRA number on there instead of your phone number and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to prevent spam callers, if they can't get your phone number from it.
What's TWRA number?
It's your fishing license number.
Oh, okay.
Every person that gets a fishing license or hunting license in Tennessee gets one.
Gotcha.
But Sandy, they all have to be marked according to state laws.
Yep, and in Tennessee, you're required to check them once every 24 hours.
She asked if people pick up your jugs.
Yes, people will do it sometimes. Nothing you can really do about it.
Oh, we don't, Sandy, we don't leave ours out for people to pick them up. No, we know how many we have, and we have 40, but in this tournament, the max number is 20.
I've run like 8.
I was supposed to get some from somebody for the gathering, but I never got them.
No bueno.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll just use that line.
Okay.
I'll use that line. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we don't see a whole lot of people up here, jug fishing. I mean, every now and then we'll see them, but it's not very often. And right now, you can't do it because there's too many pleasure boaters and too many jet skiers.
Oh, you can do it just fine.
If you would have saw the lake up here today, there's no way.
No, you can still do it. There's going to be some headaches, maybe some fist fights, maybe a shootout, whatever.
You could reach out and touch the boat next to you.
Okay, so maybe they hand me the jug.
It was nuts. I mean, we would have stayed out longer if it wasn't for all them. Mark said it sounds like the Jetsons. That is wrong.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
The Jetsons disappointed me.
Why is that?
I mean, as a kid, you watch the Jetsons. They're talking about, in the future you're going to have flying cars and, robots that clean the house for you.
That's the part I want.
And clean the house for you.
Flying cars.
Technically, Lisa, we do have flying cars and we do have Roombas. Those are robots that clean your house for you.
Yeah, but they're not rosy.
Roombas do not stand at the sink and wash your dishes.
Well, that's
Rosie
true.
did though.
She also got sass too.
She got what?
She goes sassy.
Yeah, she was.
expect anything less?
No.
That's what I thought. Mark said we should have flying cars, Lisa. Exactly.
We do have
No
flying
need.
cars. They're not mainstream, but there are flying cars.
I mean, when they fly through the air and wreck, I mean, you know. Sandy says, I feel like a Fred Flintstone era household compared to some of you.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I do not own a Roomba, and I do not own a car that flies.
I do not own a Roomba either.
I don't own a Roomba, but we do have a vacuum cleaner that's a robot vacuum that we call Alfred.
Nice.
We lost him one time. We couldn't find him, and come to find out, he had one of the lining on one of our chairs that was in the spare room had come down, and he went up inside the chair, inside the lining, and got stuck.
How smooth?
What's that?
That's smooth.
Mark says, all I ever do is fix broke stuff.
Yep, me too.
Lila says, I don't have a Roomba. I am the Roomba. We have a dishwasher and it's never been used.
Wow. I've got
Lila's been out since 10 o'clock.
I've got more dishes than I know what to do with. I try to talk my wife into minimizing. Like, we've got 4 people in the house. Let's have four short glasses, 4 tall glasses, 4 coffee cups, 4 plates, 4. Like when you go. I don't know if anybody's ever been to like a resort or whatever. Like when we go to our resort, when we go to Gatlinburg, the place we stay at, it's got like 4 plates, 4 big plates, 4 small plates, 4 forks, 4 knives. 4 of everything. So much easier to clean.
Right.
When you minimize. I watch it's called Keep Your Daydream. It's a couple that RVs a lot, and they have a cabin in Arizona, and that cabin they do I guess they rent it out during the times where they're gone in their RV, and one of the lady there, the lady that owns the cabin said, she's found it much easier in life if you minimize, like, treat your house like it's going to be like you're going to rent it to somebody else. Put as just the minimum amount of stuff in it, and it's so much easier to keep clean, so much easier to keep straight.
I tried to get my mom to do that once, but I mean, it was like I saw this thing where they put, granted, they washed all the dishes in their house and they put it in one box. And each time they used a dish, like if they needed a plate, they took the plate out. So where once they used it and washed it, it went in a completely different box.
Oh.
And after a month, whatever was in that other box, you obviously didn't need.
Yep, that's right.
And she wouldn't do it, and I'm like, we've got so much crap in this house. It is pathetic. Me and Randy, we have 4 plates, 4 bowls. Okay, no, 2 plates, 2 bowls, 2 different size, like chili bowls. And he uses his cup that he got from Jerry Hager. And I got my mug that I made, and I mean, yeah, we've got the mugs with our logos on them, but I'll use that when I'm on the boat, but otherwise, we don't have a lot, but also we ain't got the room to put anything.
Right.
So, I mean, we're limited on space, so it wouldn't matter. Oh, Lila says I tried that minimizing dishes. It doesn't work out. Sandy says I have one complete set for everyone and one spare set for when we have company.
There you go.
Mark says we have a stack of dishes but only use the top 2 plates.
Yeah, I can relate.
Hey, we use our actual plates for spaghetti because it gets a little too hot for a paper plate.
I'll tell you what the best plates in the world are.
But we use a lot of paper plates.
There's a company, Dustin, you're probably more familiar with it than some other people because I don't know if they have it down here in the South, but it's called Pet, and they make like whipped topping and stuff, and they make pies and whatnot and desserts.
Yep. PET. Yep.
Yep. My grandfather used to work at the plant up in Michigan. Well, when they closed that plant down, they laid everybody off. He brought home a whole entire stack of those plates that they put the pies in, they freeze them in or whatever.
Uh huh.
They are the absolute best plates, and it's because they have an 1.5 inch side. You can pile so much food on these things.
Sandy says goes for kitchen, linen, and 90% of this house. Lego through is a field of its own with these kids. Mark says I enjoy cooking, so I need my tools. I like cooking too. I just can't. I can't just cook anything because
Cooking is great. It's the dishes part I hate.
see, me and Randy have this all set up. If he cooks, I clean the dishes. If I cook, he cleans the dishes.
You have to talk with Shannon because I cook and clean the dishes.
We do that same thing. We my wife and I do the same thing most of the time.
But if there's laundry to be folded when Randy has cooked, he will also do the dishes so he don't have to do the laundry. Because he don't like hanging clothes up. Mark says next week we've been in this house 28 years, so we've had a lot of time to collect housewares.
Yeah.
But our dresser's a laundry basket.
Sandy says using paper plates as everyday dinnerware is hard for me to understand.
It's called zero cleanup, Sandy.
We're not really home that often. So we're just going to throw something on a paper plate and be done with it.
Come on, fishy. I need one more fish. If not, I'm going to have to go bombard this other ledge up here with this tree and see if I can catch something else. One fish ain't going to cut it for me tonight.
I think this will be my last drag around this area. When I head back to the dock, I'm going to load my boat up because I am getting so tired.
I don't blame you.
Just shush, Dustin.
If I shush, I'm going to fall asleep.
I am doing everything I can to stay awake right now.
Well, honestly, we still promote safety first. If you guys want to call it, we can call it early. If that would be easier for everybody. It's all of us big compete in the tournament today.
Brandon, are you awake?
I will let y'all make that call, though.
I'm barely awake.
You want to go ahead and call it?
Yeah, we can. I'm like you. I'm pretty exhausted. For bumping for 6 hours is not the easiest thing to do in the world.
Yeah, I bet. My downfall was I went to bed early last night. Well, Friday night. So I got up. I woke up at like 3:45 and couldn't go back to sleep. So I've been awake since 3:45 yesterday morning.
I'm normally a night owl. I'm just a little tired today, but that's why I liked the hours of your show being 10 to 2. I was like, well, I can fish some of those because I'm up anyway.
Sure. I'm
And
passing over
Well, let's
one
do.
more fish.
Well, let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and reel up and head back to the dock since it's not that far away. But for safety purposes, why don't we go ahead and stay on? Like we can end the show whenever, but the three of us stay on until at least we get boats and stuff loaded up, and that way we're not all doing it by ourselves. And you know what I mean?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm gonna fish a little bit longer, so I will stay on with y'all
No,
till y'all get in. But I'm gonna fish a little bit longer. I'm gonna go hit up this ledge up here, see if there's any fish up in this tree up here I found during the gathering.
well, we will stay live as long as you're fishing, Anthony.
But I won't be dragging anymore.
It's your show.
That's true. But like I said, now we can go ahead and call it. No big deal.
I just had a bite.
Of course you would. I guess we got to stay 15 minutes minimum, right? At the rule.
I really did. Come on, eat it.
Sandy Toes says, I appreciate y'all. Glad y'all went out and entertained us. Congratulations on the catch. And our gracious host, Lisa. Thank
I don't know
you.
if she's gracious. She's been whining all night.
Shut up. Thank you, Sandy.
You know I love you, Lisa.
I'm not feeling it.
You're just not looking hard enough.
Sure. Oh, I am going to sleep in tomorrow, Sandy. I done told my neighbor that if he doesn't want to fear for his life, that he better wait till later to mow.
That's funny.
You got a fish?
I do.
Good. Give me 1 second. I'll put you full screen.
I got tangled mess now too.
That's even better.
Oh, geez, she is so little. How far were you on this?
Oh yeah.
Brandon, you should be catching these fish.
Brandon, did your bite turn into a fish?
I don't know. I've been staring at the board. It's acting funny. I think I just had a small one chewing on it for a minute.
Oh.
Let me turn the lights on so you can see this beast.
Oh man, that's bigger than the last one.
Could almost use him as bait. Oh,
Hey, it's a fish.
it is. I'm not complaining.
Number 2. I feel like it's so first week I caught all the fish. This week Anthony catches all the fish.
Your turn, Brandon.
Brandon, you're next week.
Yeah, maybe next week for me.
What are we doing next week?
bumping.
Not dragging chicken.
Bumping. I don't know that I can bump by myself. I'd have to have somebody with me.
Yeah.
We might try to do suspend drifting. I can't hear you over the squeaking.
You need to get that fixed, Anthony.
I said I'm fine with that. Either one. Suspend drift or the other. Either's fine with me.
Well, like I said, I don't know that I can bump in my boat by myself. So
Get that.
Then you suspend drift.
that sounds like a plan. Oh.
I'm expecting a squeaky trawling net to swing into view with that sound. Yep, Sandy, it's Yak's trolling motor. I don't think I could handle the squeaking more than the 5-second beep that Chris had last week.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. I think this rod does have a small fish on it.
Sandy says, are we sure though? Because if a seagull squared and flew off, it wouldn't surprise me.
I'm not sure of anything at this point.
Oh yeah, I got a small fish.
There you go.
Way to go, Fishizzle.
I did it.
Yay.
Boat flip.
I got you on full screen there, Brandon.
Alrighty. He's like a 5-pounder.
Bigger than any of the fish I caught this morning.
Turn my camera down. What a giant.
Oh.
That boat back.
I will say one of the things I like about this boat ramp versus most of the others that we deal with is there's lights on it.
That's always a good thing.
I take that back. There's only two out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I usually use. Only 2 of them don't have lights.
There's a few over here that don't have lights. Like it's stupid.
There we go.
Look at that monster.
I can sleep well tonight,
There you go.
knowing I caught a fish.
I thought you'd sleep well enough knowing that you won the tournament today, but no, you got to rub that one in too.
Yeah, all good.
Don't fall off the boat, please.
Trying to get someone else to win the tournaments.
I tried. I told you to save your big fish till tonight, but no. Someone had to catch a 50.
Yeah, my bad.
My bad, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of debris out in the water tonight too. I don't know how many logs I've rolled over.
Well, they don't have debris. It's got grass.
Anthony's got a salad out there.
Yep.
Oh, Dustin, I made a new purchase the other day for the cricket.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you make? What purchase?
I went and got a heat press.
Nice. Is it the 12 by 12, the square one that
They're 12 by 10.
12 by 10? It's just the white one with the big handle on it.
It's nice. You download the app, and you tell the app what iron on you have, or the type of iron on you have, and it automatically sets the heat.
Nice.
And sets a timer.
Is it like one that you can open up and then close a handle, or you have to put pressure on it? Hold on.
There you go.
Is it the bottom of it?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Okay, that's like one I've got.
So instead of you could take me off full screen.
Nope, sorry. Okay.
Instead of using the iron, because the iron, you can't really do the temperature deal with my iron, and since certain iron-ons require a different temperature. And seeing how the laser engraver that Randy got me was just not working, we had to send it back.
Oh.
Plus missing pieces. I said, I'm just going to get something I'm going to use. So I got the heat press.
There you go. Yeah, ours doesn't have an app for it that I know of. We just have to manually set the temperature for it.
No, I opened the thing, the paperwork up, and the first thing it said was download the app.
Nice.
Connected
I'm good. Can't break us off.
That's very
What's that?
cool.
Oh, got it.
That was the same. I couldn't break it off.
I've got the markers for it if I wanted to use the markers on something.
Yeah.
Which, if the paper is shiny, it's just going to smear.
Yep.
I
I haven't used the markers on any of it.
learned that the hard way, but it's really cool. I like the markers.
I still want to use that. A lady I work with swears by the ink transfer. It's just like the HVT, but it's ink.
The ink transfer for the crack cut, right? Are you talking about the ink? Are you talking about the ink transfer for the crack cut?
For the cricket, yeah.
I think I've tried that once.
Come on.
But I was also trying to use a t-shirt press, and it screwed the whole thing up.
Well, I lost the planer board.
Oh, how'd you lose the planer board?
When I snapped off because it was so far away, it went under my boat, and I can't see it now.
Oh boy.
Man, I got extras. It's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, it's planer board.
The planer boards aren't cheap.
Well, they're not. You know what is cheap though, and absolutely gross? I just did it.
Eating the bug?
Swallowing a bug. Yep.
Protein.
That's a free meal.
Ah.
Protein.
Hey, Brandon, if you see a yellow Parks planer, head your way. It's mine.
I'll look on the way back to Chester Frost.
If you don't see it, it is what it is.
All right.
I plan on pushing off Freddie eventually anyway.
I'm going to start slow rolling back up toward your way.
That's fine. I'm untangling this god-awful mess I got here. And I might just use 2 rods for the extra fish I'm going to do. I don't know yet. If my spotlight was charged, I'd probably be able to find the planer board, but I can't. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Let me put on this stupid bright stern light. Maybe that'll be bright enough. Excuse me. That bug tastes awful. Just to be perfectly clear.
Dude, right before we left today, we had reeled in, and I didn't bring the hooks in. I just left them hanging out. And we got washed out so bad that 2 of my rods were so tangled up. It was crazy.
Oh wow.
Did you find it yet?
I did.
Well, good for you.
Just so happens I have a I'll say that. Dang it. Really?
You ain't got to look for it now, Brandon.
Off the hook.
Because I just definitely lost it again. There it is.
Yeah, my rods got tangled up so bad that you couldn't pull them apart. It was awful. And I had to wait till this Hey, Randy got mad at the guy because he just flew right by us and didn't even take into consideration nothing. But after we stopped swaying so bad, it took a good while for me to get him untangled. It was so twisted.
Wow.
But I only had 2 rods out today. I brought 3, but I just didn't use them all. They were intertwined, and it's like I couldn't even find where to start.
Yep, line border for you. We're good.
Sounds like my night. Didn't know where to start or to stop.
It's crazy.
I'm sorry y'all had it so rough. I mean, I'm not being a jerk. I'm being serious.
The guy that went by us, it was on Randy's side, and he was watching his planer boards, and the guy just grazed one of the boards, and he's like, you know what? Let's just reel him in. I mean, after he yelled at the guy and said, I wish I could go get the number off his boat and turn him in. No, we just reeled up and left.
Probably better that way.
I mean, all we're doing is getting washed out. It's not by the big pleasure boaters, it's by the jet skis. It's like, heck, it ain't gonna get any better. It's like 4th of July weekend. I'm not gonna be on. I'm not.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to, he can go, but I'm not doing it. There's too many. But over here, he said there's a bunch of them that meet up once a week. I was like, yeah, a bunch of them. I mean, they're parking their boats like right beside each other, just kind of stretching out. Like, yeah, that ain't just some of them. That's like the whole flipping community over here. Hey, 30 minutes.
I got
30 minutes. We have Sampy's back in here.
What's up, Sampy? Oh. All right. Yeah, I got everything moved to the front of the boat. So now I can go up my truck.
Yeah, so you're at the ramp, Justin.
I am at the ramp walking up to my truck now. The good thing is with that line in my motor, The and I left my keys in my boat. Nice stuff. The water's up, so I should just be able to back my trailer down and get my boat up there without any issues, without having to start my motor. Because I already unplugged my trolling motor. But
Are you, Brandon?
Yeah, it's me.
I got you.
Who's the creepy guy rolling up on me out here?
Yeah. Well, be safe going home, man.
Hey, you too, dude. Holler at me if you need anything.
Will do. Hopefully not, but we'll do.
If
Huh?
you stay, catch a biggin.
I'm gonna try.
All right, bye.
Be safe, man.
All right, later, Brandon.
Hey, thanks, guys. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. See you next week, maybe.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Sandy says, "Don't engage with the creepy guys, Brandon. It's how they form an attachment."
Another boat that pulled up right beside me. Trying to make sure I don't run anybody over.
Just re-rigging 2 of these rods, so I got more than just 2 to use. I'm gonna go anchor fish this bluff for a minute while I'm out here already. But I will definitely stay on with you till you get back to the launch, or you get loaded up, Dustin.
All right. You can, like I said, you can stay on live on our channel, on the channel, if you want to.
Nah, it's all good, man.
Fish.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a short form one for a little bit. I think. Just give it like 30 minutes or so. Trying to get a little more growth. But I do appreciate you coming on here and fishing with me again.
Absolutely.
Sorry you had issues at the beginning, obviously. Well, that turned out to be the whole night, but you know what I mean.
Sandy said, "Thanks for bringing us along tonight. I'll catch everyone later. Good luck getting home and good luck with the rest of your night, Yak. Stay safe out there."
Thanks, Sandy. You be
All right,
safe.
Sandy. Thank you so much. Had to back my truck up like 6 times just to get it down to the ramp straight. The other guy in front of me is like, what in the heck is this guy doing?
I know that feeling.
Oh, we have a mayfly hatch going on. I have so many dead mayflies at the bottom of the boat right now.
Oh, yeah.
That must be what I ate. That must have been what I ate.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. Well, Lisa, thank you again for doing this tonight. Hopefully you still like us enough to do it next week.
We'll talk tomorrow.
If you notice, the squeaking's gone on my trolling motor.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Oh, good.
I didn't do anything. Stopped it and started it back up. So I don't know if it was just not quite seated right or what. but I stopped it and then started it back up. Now, the only other thing I haven't done, is I no longer have the drift sock down, so maybe it was the extra pressure from the drift sock. I don't know. I'll be right back.
Okay. I don't think the drift sock would have anything to do with it.
Excuse me. Sheesh. Well, the only thing I was thinking maybe was the extra pressure, extra back drag, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. That was awful.
Are you eating more protein?
No, I'm still dealing with that first one. There we go.
No.
But yeah, once Dustin gets loaded up, we'll go ahead and end this.
Alrighty.
I can read the chat now that you're now that I'm not actually doing anything. If you want to go ahead and leave, I know you're tired too.
I'm good till he gets on.
Okay.
He may have better luck loading his boat than I did today.
What happened with yours?
Oh, there was 2 women right at the ramp swimming, and I told them, I said, just FYI, I'm about to back a trailer in here. And they're like, oh, well, we'll get out of the way. Well, there was a little boy walking a little dog. Well, I didn't see where the little boy went, so that made me nervous to begin with because I couldn't see him.
Right.
And I'm trying to get straightened up to back up, and I was too close this, one way, pulled back up, I am backing up, and some idiot walks right behind me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, I'm already nervous because I can't find that little boy. Already nervous, and I'm clearly backing up. It is clear that the truck is moving. It is clear that the trailer is moving, and he still walks right behind me, looks at me like I'm cramping his style or something, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I go to back in, those women never moved.
Of course not.
I was like,
why would they do that?
I was like, I'm backing up. And I mean, we get the boat loaded and everything, but I told Randy, I said, I was a nervous freaking wreck.
Sure.
Because, I mean, mainly because I could not find the little boy.
Right.
And he said, well, he had already went back and got in the boat. And I said, yeah, but I didn't know that.
Sure.
So I was like, I'm nervous with him. And then those women wouldn't move. And then, the guy walks right behind me. He goes, he said, yeah, I understand, being nervous with a little boy. He said, but those adults, he said, I would have hit them. He said, because they're old enough to know better.
I mean, that's fair, but still, you still would have got in trouble.
We wouldn't actually hit them.
Gotcha.
I was like, I normally don't get nervous at back in the trailer in, but that was too much for me.
I get it.
I had I known that little boy was in the boat, yeah, I would have been all right.
Yeah, but still.
But yeah. The only time other than that, I've not had a problem.
Right.
Now, no, I take that back. When we went on our honeymoon to the floating cabins, that ramp was a nightmare.
Oh, I'm sure. After hearing about how everything else was, I can only imagine.
It didn't matter which way you put the trailer, you're going off. It's like, with all the money that they, what little money they bring in, they could at least fix the ramp. Because, yeah, that was terrible. I said, at least we know we'll not make that mistake again and go back.
Sure. Yeah, you guys' experience with that was not great, for sure.
I'll just drive it home like this and I'll jack it up on the trailer and fix it this week. Yeah, we're good. You're good, man. Yeah, I mean, just gonna make sure this is good now. We've got 2 poles down. I've got your cut cord right here. Nothing I can really do. Yeah, besides just hold it up. Oh. What do you do with your net? I'll put it back in my truck. Huh? I'll put that in the back of my truck. With the box, I'll put the net in the box.
Lisa, you're still in here?
Yeah, because you haven't loaded the boat yet.
I appreciate that.
Alrighty. Well, Dust, I'm glad you made it loaded up okay.
Well, I got one more thing I got to do, but I'm on.
Okay.
I gotta tighten it down just a little bit. I didn't go far enough back.
So,
but yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well,
Okay.
We'll see you guys next week. At least talk to you tomorrow if you got to talk still, unless you're just messing with me. And take it easy. Y'all have a good night and be safe. This has been Catfish Gone Wild. Or, sorry, Whiskers Gone Wild. Can't say the name of the show right. That's pretty bad.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thanks,
Good
everybody
night,
in
y'all.
chat. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Hey, see ya.